We are live. I
Hello.
think everything is good. Welcome to Book 3 of Avatar Legends. The book name is Tournament. Indigo, would you
Yeah.
like to showcase why?
We're doing a tournament arc. That's the intro. We were in a town last time. We are not there anymore. We are now at Pai-Sho Duelist City, or whatever we called this island.
I don't know if we named it. Would you like to?
I'm sure we were at a place, right?
It was
Mm,
Honto's
we're-
private island?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
we're
was
still on the
Honto's...
slideshow, by the way, Spence.
Oh, oops. Where are we? Transition button. There we go. There we are.
Come up with to name his own private island.
Ontopia.
The island of Honto. Yeah.
The Chateau de Honto.
What's his last
Chateau de
name? He has a
Honto.
last name, right?
There we go. I vote that one.
I do like that one, actually. As it is genre appropriate. It's like Pegasus Island.
Yeah, it's like Honto Island or something stupid. Or Honto's Evil Island.
Oh no, he's supposed to be a mad scientist, so it's like
it's
Honto's
like the island of ingenuity or something. Like
yeah, it'd be something that he spent a lot of time naming. More than we
The
are.
robot future.
The island of the future, and the future is Pai-Sho.
Future Island.
I do think it's some like Epcot level nonsense.
I like Future Island actually, where he can like kind of turning it into half a theme park or something.
Yeah, no, yes. Future Island, there's a big like castle structure with like the steep,
Yeah.
like not totally Japanese style castle, but like very tower focused.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, very tower focused with angular roofing on it. And then he's got like robot shit everywhere because that's the future for them, right?
Yep. Steampunk robots, basically. Like very early level like mech suits and stuff.
No, but they're all for luxury purposes. They're
Excellent.
luxury bots.
So they're like
automatic doors.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like you step
like,
in front of the door and like it's like a pressure plate. Yeah, pressure plate and like chains and ropes, and then the door opens.
It's pressure plate and then a steam like.
Yeah, the steam is intentionally there to like act as a sort of fog.
That's only like the big impressive door the one time. That's too expensive. But like, there's like needless luxury items that have been like steampunked, but like you still gotta light the fire yourself.
Of course, it's firebenders. Steam doesn't come for free. You got to punch it. Punch the water to make steam.
The robot is out of coal.
Gotta feel sorry for all the firebender Fire Nation people. Apparently they
just gotta pull chains and levers and yeah. Or like carry luggage. Like this person is wearing a mech suit that helps them carry heavier luggage. Can I take your stuff, sir?
Or it's just someone strapped to a cart. Like,
I mean, yeah, but that's not luxury.
Like Mad Max style.
That's not waste. That's not wastefully luxurious.
A guy sprays his mouth with spray paint.
I take your bags.
I mean, or like a suitcase elevator kind of dealio, where it.
Yeah, I think he definitely does have elevator. I mean, elevators have been a thing for way longer than this, but
Yeah.
he probably has closer to modern elevators here.
I think even if he doesn't have the tech to actually do something, he probably does it in the most ostentatious manner possible. And even if it's just like people pulling ropes in the background, he just hides that away and lets people assume, oh yes, I'm so much more advanced than the rest of you.
Yeah, so we're going from a medieval city to now we're at weird not so much steampunk, but weirdly uncanny automated city.
Yeah.
We
literally went from living in a cave.
Toilets. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm imagining
this
was like this is like his family island. So this is like there's like ancient Fire Nation, like his dynasty from before has been here, and then he's just been patching on steampunk stuff onto it. Like there's probably a degree of that. I don't remember which air temple it was, but the one with the people knocking down walls and adding tech
I think
stuff
it was the
to
Northern Air Temple.
Northern Air Temple? Perfect.
Yeah. Some of those vibes, but a lot gaudier.
Clockwork Mansion from Dishonored 2 a bit, to a degree.
Hold on.
I've
Less
not
extreme.
played that.
Okay, less extreme. Clockwork Mansion literally had moving rooms, so less
Yeah, I don't
extreme
think you have
version of
moving
that.
rooms, but they're definitely gonna like be lifting platforms where stairs would be much more preferred.
I could see designs in the work for moving rooms, but definitely like decades like. If I don't think it would happen, but if he had his dream house, it would include moving rooms.
This place is gonna be so much fun to break.
Are we gonna find out that like later on that like there's actually prisoners in the basement and hitting the button for the elevator just activates the hot plate under their feet so they hurry up and work?
If I don't think Honto would be good with that, but like the person under Honto who was pressured to deliver results might have cut some corners.
7 mice in a wheel.
Yeah, something silly. But yeah, we're on a totally different place, doing a totally different thing. So on this island, our party has been invited to participate in, I didn't even name the tournament. A gathering of champions, if you will.
Perfect.
For Pai-Sho.
Is that what the poster was that we saw? Like that was sent everywhere? That's the headline for it?
No, everyone had to be invited.
That's true. Was that what your invitation was labeled as?
Yeah, the invitation is you are invited for like a gathering of the best or something like that on this island. And the gang has taken this as an excuse to pull one over on their arch nemesis from season 1.
We have all attained disguises and have managed to acquire invitations to come to this island as fellow Pai-Sho participants.
Yeah, so we have a brief intro sequence in which we flash from, I guess, you guys beating up people that got invitations.
We beat up some Pai-Sho nerds.
Yeah, beating up Pai-Sho nerds or something, and then it flashes to what your disguise is. It cross cuts from you beating them up to you just like posing in your disguise with your name on like a colored background, and then we keep going with the next character.
Yep. Perfect.
So yeah, what are your disguises? And what is your tournament entry name?
I guess I'll start.
Okay.
So
yeah, let's start a little more tame than me.
Quiwa is Sixth Sight Summer. She is dressed in water tribe blue. She wears I think silver spectacles. She's also cut her hair to.
Does she have like 3 pairs of them going down her nose?
Oh no, that's
She has 6
no.
lenses.
She definitely has backup spectacles. She is her hair used to be like probably below shoulder length. She has cut it now to be like tomboyish basically. Yeah. I think she didn't want to be very recognizable. So that's what she did. So I think she wears, water tribe blue. She's still wearing her engagement necklace, her engagement brooch, I think it was. And she looks kind of, her demeanor in disguise is somewhat like, Julie from Legend of Korra. We're like very bookish and cunning, but often in the background a lot and less called forward. So she steps off the boat, and we see like she gives her card as their like her ID card, and yeah. Who's the next person to step off the boat?
Ooh, yeah. The Crystal Champion steps off the boat.
We just hear like crunching of like crystal. Do you have crystalline boots? Like how are you just wearing full body armor? That's how I imagine.
It's it looks a lot more like a costume.
This is not the move, yes. This is not the move Earth Armor. It is specifically a goofy crystal-based outfit that you have assembled for yourself.
Yeah, he's covered like head to toe in different kinds of crystals.
Just look like a Christmas tree.
No.
Are they all green or like what color?
So basically, basically ostensibly you're wearing a rhinestone-covered vest.
Exactly.
Excellent.
He's wearing glasses that are crystals that he can see through.
Giant spiky crystal glasses and a rhinestone. Yeah, okay.
Right. Getting off the boat right behind Quiwa because he's still keeping his eye on her. But he's got his two brothers with him are also like mini versions of him, like with the crystal.
Oh God, you have hype men?
The stalactite and stalagmite are their two names.
Stalagmite and stalactite. And I came here to win Pai-Sho and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a tournament of champions. You can't not have the crystal champion there.
So
now there has to be other equally outrageous characters.
Yes, of course.
At this tournament.
We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, and the guy who played the bug cards in Yu-Gi-Oh was literally, I think, called Bugsy Weevil or something like that.
Yeah, he was just called Weevil.
Yeah. So it's going to be that on the nose.
Bug friend, he plays bug cards.
Everyone has a single gimmick that they hyperinflate. That's how it's going to be.
Oh, his name was Weevil Underwood.
I see. Bugsy must have been Digimon or something. I've also known a Bugsy who...
Possibly
No, that's Pokemon. Pokemon had a bug trainer called Bugsy.
So, I think the next person off the boat is Aeon, and he had pretty much every intention of heading into the Fire Nation with no cover story, figuring that, being known as a Fire Nation sympathizer would probably be enough anyways. When pressed, he chose the pseudonym E&I, and then asked Quiwa to kind of help him separate his green clothes from the red clothes, because he still couldn't actually tell the difference. The aftermath was about as scruffy as the original, so she took him on a shopping spree. And
to another village on our way.
Is something approaching what a noble would wear, with the lack of grace of somebody who is used to running around, working with his hands, and getting completely dirty. He is
Calluses.
really, really frustrated with everything he's wearing right now. But at least it's red and technically looks good.
So you looked visibly uncomfortable.
Very much.
And
so,
otherwise the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
Lovely.
a lot higher class. Like, before it was just whatever was around. Now, it's whatever you thought was appropriate, so...
Excellent.
And I guess stepping lastly off the boat is an older gentleman with close cropped hair, gray here going into whitish silver on top. Sato has shaved his beard, so it's just a black mustache that trails down the sides of his face. He's wearing a long sort of formal coat that has a high stiff collar. All decked out in Fire Nation red and gold, looking very sharp and put together. And he just scans around once again, sort of rolls his eyes at the horrible sight that is the Crystal Champion.
Flexing.
Who's currently flexing
In the
for a
background.
group of onlookers.
In the
who
background.
come off other boats, because as we pan around, we see there's a bunch of other boats that are also offloading equally outrageous looking people. There is at least 3 other old men with beards that are trailing behind them.
Yep.
There's got to be one guy covered in ice instead of crystals. The Ice Knight and the Crystal Champion
Yeah,
have to fight
there is
each
some
other.
guy that's like, it's not covered in ice, but he's standing on top of like an icicle spider that he's using to locomocate.
Oh, he's like water bending the thing to like
a
move him.
Spider, yes. He's hydraulically
Frozen
controlling
octopus
an ice
form.
spider.
That's amazing.
It's very goofy.
Quiwa in disguise, or should I say, what did I call her? Hold on. I need to put it in my character sheet now.
Summer?
Yeah, Summer says in disguise to Aeon.
As in disguise?
In disguise, and like, yeah, she says, shouldn't you, you look like, I think she says, you should have a hat, I think. You look like you're missing a hat. If you're good with it, Marissa, if Quiwa has some influence over you, how you look like, Quiwa insisted that you buy a large, like, eye-covering reed hat. A really nice one with, like, a Fire Nation symbol on it to cover the top of your head.
Basically, it just says Fire Nation across.
Well, it has like, it probably has
brim.
the symbol of the Fire Nation on it, and it's probably like has some nice decorations and trailing. Yeah.
I think I just kind of sigh, and there's a string around the neck, and the hat was in the back there, and I like grabbed the hat and put it on. I'm like,
I went to the Fire Nation. All I got was this reed hat.
Yeah. You get an an approving nod.
There's like a little fire motif, and it just says "fire" under it, or something silly like that. So
yeah.
If you're not sure about the picture, it does remind you it's fire.
Perfect. She nods in approval, and then, as a complete stranger who definitely doesn't know you, starts walking and like politely exploring while not getting too far from the dock as everyone's getting off.
That's actually a question. Are we going into this as complete strangers or not?
Well, that's sort of why I floated the idea of being a manager that put a team together, make us sort of have tenuous connections and not have a worry about being seen talking to each other a lot.
I was wondering about that too, actually. Like, do we have to suddenly like unassociate from Dama, who's here as himself?
Oh yes. As everyone's looking around in disguise, Dama shows up, follows on the boat as himself. Now, for this tournament, everyone is entering as individuals, but you can all be entering as a like team. Like it's not. There's other like teams that have entered, but everyone here is an individual participant.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
it's just club. They all showed up together, but they all are competing.
Yeah, there's a couple like notorious like Pai-Sho societies that have shown up as well. Some of them are like old man clubs. And other ones are weird like gambling gangs. I guess yeah, you can bet on Pai-Sho.
Yeah.
So a few of them so there's some Pai-Sho clubs that showed up all in like matching uniforms or like dress shirts or whatever because they are like a hobbyist like group that have their own little society for it.
I imagine
some of them are wearing like matching tailored suits. And they look very rough and they have sunglasses and they are here as representatives of like Pai-Sho gangs. They run Pai-Sho.
The Pai-Sho mob?
Yeah, it's the Pai-Sho mob. The Pai-Sho mob is here too. They're a team, but they're all entered as individuals. So yeah, you do not have to disassociate.
I can imagine there's some, not the same thing as a convention, but some things of like a convention where like there'll be people selling potentially T-shirts that they were at the tournament or things like that. Like there's probably some people wanting to.
No, it's Duelist Island. You got the competitors, you got the staff,
and that's it. There's no. Okay, perfect.
Or the staff selling T-shirts.
The staff probably do sell T-shirts when you leave, but not while you're on the island.
Because they need to know how to make the T-shirt with the winner on it.
Yeah.
They can't do that before.
So you're all stuck on the island.
Each shirt is unique, and it says like when you were eliminated, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If you're eliminated immediately, all the shirt says is "I came and got this stupid shirt."
Yeah, all I got was the shirt. Yeah. This robe.
The crystal. Oh yeah, the crystal champion needs to ask Summer some questions.
Yeah, Summer gives him a look up and down, like very much playing the stranger. Like, I don't know who you are, and why are you talking to me?
Do you listen to me more often than not?
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, still no. She's still pulling away.
You recently protected them or helped them with a problem? If we count recently as last session?
Last session specifically.
I don't think the day and a half on the boat you spent as the Crystal Champion has done well for your relationship.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with no on that too.
Is there an immediate threat to your ward that you are aware of? This whole place is an immediate threat.
This is your question to answer, not mine. That said, I wouldn't necessarily call it an immediate threat.
All right. Uh-oh. That's a 4.
Okay. So what happens on a 6- for that again? I think you make a choice, basically.
Before the end of the session, I choose. Right. Yeah. Decide you're the only one who could keep them safe. Shift your balance twice towards self-reliance to keep them as your ward, or decide they can handle life without your protection. Shift your balance twice toward trust and switch your ward to a new person. So just before the end of the session.
Yep. There are strained relationships once again.
Thank you for your time, man. Oh yeah. That's just I'm gonna do that every time to get the voice.
And Quiwa sighs and very much is being like annoyed and cold is part of her thing. But yeah, I think we all mingle and Quiwa's, I don't know if it's a move or not. It's up to you, Indigo, if she's gonna try and just like look around and see what notable competition there is. Like, she is not a Pai-Sho fiend, but I think she probably would have done some research once she realized she was coming here. So she's gonna look for the competition.
Look around who's around and just to see if you recognize anyone.
Yeah, who's the competition? Exactly.
That feels like you're assessing the crowd.
Okay.
If you're open to it, I would very much like to help. I want to know if there's anyone we recognize more so than competition, but...
Okay. Yeah, I think recognize, be it competition or not, I agree in opening that up a bit.
I just want to point out, with some of the rougher characters here, failure includes 2 people staring at people who take offense to people staring at them.
Oh, excellent.
Just want to point that out.
Okay. Well, I have no fatigue now. That's good. And it is focus, I believe. Hold on. Assess the situation. Click. That's a roll. Oh, so it does do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was my roll then. Creativity. Did that roll? Yes. 5 plus 3. 8. Okay. So I get to ask one question. And I think who is the biggest threat? What should I have been looking for is one thing, but I'm going to go with who is the biggest threat.
All right, can you define threat?
Quiwa is thinking of this in terms of Pai-Sho right now still. So who's the biggest player?
I mean, clearly, for your own personal advancement in this tournament, Dama will just beat you every time.
Yes, that's a given.
That's a given. You do notice there is the little boy from the mountains, the 4-year-old who's never lost.
Excellent.
Is being walked around by his parents.
Yeah.
Parents are here simply for
because he's 4.
Because he's 4, yeah. Yeah, but they found this little boy in the mountains playing Pai-Sho with wolves.
Raise my wolves.
Raise my Pai-Sho wolves specifically.
The wolf spirit.
That does feel like someone who might also be destined to be the greatest Pai-Sho player in the world.
Maybe.
Listen, man. Some people get the radish lotus. Some people get the wolf lotus. You never know.
There's also the girl who is around your age, so 15 to 19. You're not 100% because it's hand drawn animation, and who has recently been coming up in the high stakes Pai-Sho circuit, showing up.
The people we've been reading up on to ready for the mission.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big names. Anyone who has a silly name, you're gonna have some hard time beating.
Okay. I'm gonna keep probably the biggest eye out on the 4-year-old, because they must be really, really good to get invited
and a little bit bitey.
Probably, and they might have to take a break and have a nap in the middle of the game. I don't know.
Just remember, you now have a +1 forward to gank that kid.
I do. I'll say later I smuggled my bow. Yeah.
In their sleeves, you have a +1 to the action.
I don't even need to do that. I just need to make them cranky during their game. That's all I need to do.
Too much chocolate so they pass out before the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't show up to your game, you lose. Sorry.
Yep, that's what we decided already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much death is a good way to ensure victory.
Yep, death or significant delay.
Parents let them come here anyway.
Parents
These aren't actual parents. These are more like managers who
found him.
watching the child. This child was raised by wolves.
Yeah, wolves being the metaphor for Pai-Sho managers, obviously.
Yeah, and Pai-Sho.
Yeah.
It's a real serious place.
To see if there's anyone we actually recognize from our previous travels. Does that need another roll, or do we recognize anyone?
Yeah, I have in air quotes Aeon's mom.
Mom, yes.
Yeah. Can you she's here. Who is she? Can you enlighten the crowd?
Sure. Yes, I definitely. Give me a moment. Yes. Here, no. I have her name. Right. Right, so Aeon's mom, air quotes, isn't actually his mom. After his sister died and whatnot at home, she was the Fire Nation tinker who kind of showed up and was fixing the drill that they were using in the town, and sort of didn't really adopt him, but, was the person who taught him how to deal with any kind of tech and stuff. So she, I guess, is here. Never really knew she was much of a Pai-Sho player, but she definitely was the type of person to not deal with any kind of problems when they arise.
Yeah,
She'd rather stick her head in the sand.
Maybe they brought her in to work on some of the stuff that wasn't quite ready.
Nope, it's sillier. Nope, it's sillier than that. Unbeknownst to you, she is the mechanical lady of Pai-Sho, and she reaches into her sleeve and has a weird contraption that has that she checks and makes sure it flips out all of her Pai-Sho tiles, and she collapses it back down and tucks it back in.
Perfect.
He made the automatic Pai-Sho
calculator. Oh, I was gonna say the closest thing to a chess computer. By just a Pai-Sho abacus steampunk calculator
typewriter.
Yeah, she
has a weird steampunk Pai-Sho set.
Pai-Sho tiles so that you can trust in the heart of the Pai-Sho tiles and get the right one.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
The heart of the tiles.
Yep.
And she turns and looks and makes eye contact with Aeon, but because you're in disguise, there's a cutting moment where she doesn't recognize you, and then turns back and continues towards the castle. It was the hat.
Yeah, that's why I had you put on the hat. You don't want to get recognized by anyone.
What was her name? Did we find that?
Natsu.
Her name was Natsu. Natsu. I'll drop it in chat.
Oh, got it.
The mechanical lady of Pai-Sho.
Yep.
Anyone else we recognize?
Oh yeah. Your traitorous brother Bato is here. He's looking rather traitorous. To you. He has a little vest on. He has a black vest on over his red shirt. He's wringing his hands for some reason. It's not that cold.
He's grown a dark goatee.
It's only been like a month and a half, but somehow, yes, he's grown a pretty substantial goatee.
It was from him rubbing his face the whole time doing this.
Yeah.
It made the hair follicles grow faster.
Definitely.
He does not look like he is participating in the tournament, though. You see him like as the bulk of you are surveying the crowd, and we're getting flashes of, the other characters on this island. We are a fixed lot. The people here are the people that are going to be here for the next 5. Oh, I guess this is the day before the start of the tournament. So for the 5 days after this, you're all going to be on the island. No ship can leave until then.
Perfect. Is the announcer anyone specific, or is it like Honto himself who's like welcoming everyone?
Currently everyone's just filing off the ships. When you get into the castle, there's like a little welcoming ceremony that they're just like you go up to the castle, but they're really this is just the dock, and they're parking the ships and you're coming off. And there are like guards that are like checking invitations here so they could kick you back onto your ship if you don't have one. It's a private island, private party.
Yep.
Has there been anyone who's been kicked off back onto their ships?
I'm sure there's like, at least not on your boat, but there are definitely a few people that have tried to sneak into this event. And you can tell because as you mentioned it, you turn, you look at one of the other boats, and there's a pile of matching guards just like hucking someone into the water.
Just like, by their pants, kind of.
Yeah.
I really hope they can swim.
Yep. Oh, I want that to be someone we met before, but I don't know if we have anyone in mind that fits.
Yeah.
It could be the waterbender guy.
I like the idea that he was here as he's like also here disguised as like a lifeguard for the beach or something. But
I should have. I gotta write down this baby name before I forget. Very important. We have the Wolf Baby. I need the real name, but right now it's Wolf Baby. We get a couple other flashes of like funny-looking Pai-Sho characters who we've not been introduced to yet. There's at least one person in like full battle armor. At least one person who's like way underdressed for this occasion.
And they're being let on with full battle armor.
Yeah, they had to check the axe that was bigger than them, but they are allowed to wear the armor.
It's zip tied, so you know it's fake.
Yep.
I imagine the guy who's very underdressed is just a swamp bender. Like he's just wearing his leaf.
Yeah, he's clearly a swamp bender. That's a good
great.
call.
Yeah.
You know they're good at Pai-Sho.
Pulls out the crocodigator technique. It's a crocodile mixed with an alligator. It's horrifying.
No, they have like cat gators. It's a catfish alligator. Is the swamp bender guys. Yeah. But eventually, like, everyone starts making their way towards the castle, and we get some cool shots of like everyone filing in, and the camera turns up, and these towers are obnoxiously tall. Like, it's kind of a rocky, cliffy island, and the dock's on, the most sea level portion of it. And then as you approach the castle, it's kind of built into the cliffs as some weird spire-like construction. And if you look at the top, there's 3 of them that are close together, and there appears to be a platform of some kind that exists on the intersection, like supported by the 3 tallest towers. This may or may not come up later.
Excellent.
Chekhov's platform.
Yep.
Yeah. There's totally not going to be an epic Pai-Sho duel on the platform.
So
At
the
some
platform
point
is
in the
supported
tournament.
by 3.
Yeah, it's suspended between 3 towers.
What is it suspended by?
It's like a stone disc with little
Mm.
triangular points that come off of it that connect to the
Mm.
3 towers.
So you're saying it's made of earth?
It is made of earth.
What? To remind everyone, I just picked up a auto-sabotage move.
Move or technique?
It's
When you
a
reveal
move, right?
It's a move.
It's
Oh,
not
so you just say, yeah, I broke
it was
that.
Yeah.
sabotaged, and then we see how well it goes.
Flashback to breaking it. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm sure if you want a flashback to tearing down a building, like,
I think there'll be some
It does
things
say you
involved in that.
sabotaged the building.
I guess that seems like a really broad focus of a move.
We'll get to it when we get to it.
That'll be our escape. Is the final showdown is on that thing, and we take Dama and leave.
We'll see how it goes.
After he's won, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then as we're walking up, we get the deep voiced intro of like our heroes approach the like the tournament grounds within the castle. They are going to participate in a 5-day Pai-Sho tournament against the best of the best from all across the 4 nations. Despite the ongoing war, they were all lured here by like individual means, more or less. So there's not like a set prize. And everyone was more or less either like blackmailed, or they're looking for reputation, or they're looking for a cash payout, or to make connections, or to do the like Pai-Sho for money after party game every single night until
There's
they make their
probably
fortune.
one person that's here for like a miracle cure for their dying family member.
You said the 4 nations. Does that mean that there's actually an air nomad willing to go
Probably
up
not airbender, but I don't know if Hanto would go with air nomad, or if the air nomad.
No one is explicitly wearing. They still say the like.
The
well, they
orange
probably say the 4
robes.
nations. They probably say the like 4 corners of the globe or something like that.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not saying there's not any air nomad peoples here, but like no one's wearing the.
Yeah, they're not gonna
orange.
call it out.
Trying to flaunt it in this place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
dude
seems
with
like
an arrow on his head comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a bad move. You do see some people. There's more than one person with suspiciously low hats. But
Some headbands.
I mean,
we are one of these people. Some of these people.
yeah, and then as we enter the castle, we could see very immediately the entrance hall has been set up to display the technological marvel of the castle of the future, with like whistling teapots that are on like automatic, it's like copper pipes with open butane flames coming out of them, not like a safe looking environment from a modern perspective, but from your perspective, a very incredible feat of engineering.
Bao immediately turns to his brothers and says, very like hushedly, "Do not touch anything. I'm pretty sure it would blow up, and I don't want to be here when it does." Oh yeah, it just goes right back in.
Yeah, you get perfectly synchronized eye rolls. But yeah, there actually isn't anyone who's not a participant in this like entry hall. There are stacks, there are teas, there are big copper hammered speakers in the corner that are piping in some stringed music. It's kind of low.
We do see
little bit
Sato
based.
though. Sorry, we do see Bato. You said.
Yeah, you saw Bato, but Bato's not entering with the participants. Bato is slinking off with. You saw him slinking off with some of the guards.
Okay. Yeah, I get. Quiwa gets close to Sato while we're walking, and just like in a whisper says, um, "I think following your brother is the way to find your son."
I agree, but we must not play our hand too soon.
Of course. And I think we don't need to talk anymore right now. I think she backs away, and we keep sort of following along with where we're being guided.
I think Aeon's just examining the tech on display all over the place, trying to figure out how to do it himself.
Perfect.
A lot of it is just kind of over-engineered nonsense. Like
it's meant to look more fancy and complex than it is.
Yeah, or just like it's a pipe with gas coming through it, and someone went around with a sparker and lit it on fire, and they just have it aimed at the bottom of a tea kettle. Like, that's not that impressive, but the silly pipe design they have for it makes it look a lot more impressive.
So it's kind of like steampunk cosplay, where they'll add like gears and cogs to things that don't actually necessarily need it. And I like steampunk cosplay style, but it definitely doesn't need all that.
I mean, it's more practical than, like, the same essence what you're saying. It's like all of the pieces are needed for these machines to work, but like they just added way more than it's needed for like what the actual principle of the thing is.
So it's more, the machines themselves are more complex than they could have been.
Yeah, like it's a butane, like a Bunsen burner isn't that complicated, and this has a lot more welds to it than a Bunsen burner really needs.
Okay.
I think at some point it comes to like Aeon's ridiculously long sleeves being this close to being on fire as he is not paying attention to the hole and getting way too close, but yeah.
Yeah.
What is what's security look like around here?
You haven't seen, you saw some guards at the dock. As your keen soldier's vision did see some like guards wandering the ramparts of parts of this castle and stuff. But in this entry hall, like the only doors that are open are the front ones at this point. So you don't have any more like access to the castle other than this entry hall where they're gathering all of the participants.
Yeah. Quiwa waits, basically, patiently.
Yeah, Sato's going to spend his time sort of glad handing with people. In particular, the criminal element, like.
Good. Yes, the Pai-Sho mob is huddled in the corner. They have pulled some seats up in a circle, and they have all acquired a cup of tea in their like matching black suits, with white embroidery down the back of what's a good animal from. I guess they're Earth, so they are of like an ostrich horse, like in a downwards kick kind of motif.
Okay, yeah, I think he's just going to go over it and, if it's possible, just start small talking, schmoozing with them.
Yeah. I mean, you can schmooze with them if there's a specific thing you're trying to do. We can figure out some role.
I was more trying to feel out the social situation of, are they even open to talking someone outside their circle?
You're going to have to do something to specifically, like, get them to converse with you. Otherwise, it's a polite, like...
Do we know you
hello?
kind of thing? Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep my eye open for opportunities there.
Are people showing off their Pai-Sho tiles?
Not quite at this point. Everyone's kind of doing the same thing that Sato was doing. It is just kind of milling about, trying to like talk to people, and a lot of people are being cagey. And that's mostly because no rules of this tournament have really been announced. No one's exactly. There's a lot more people here than you thought would be needed for a 5-day tournament. No one's quite exactly sure how it's gonna work. And right about this time is the narratively appropriate point for the everyone to have arrived and for the castle doors to then swing shut, leaving everyone in the entry hall. Some more lights turn up, and the host kind of like spirals down on a platform on a pole. Like he's not like pulled out to be like he's holding onto a pole, and there's like a circular disc platform, and it like extends from the ceiling.
Nice.
Because yeah, your evil arch nemesis has an evil arch nemesis entrance. Now this platform does not make it to the floor. He is a safe distance above the crowds. As he welcomes everyone to his home, and for his little tournament that he's put on to truly determine who is the best in the best of the best. He explains that you're welcome to take full advantage of the hospitalities provided to you. The castle will let you know which rooms you're not allowed in.
So they'll be guarded, basically, the ones we're not supposed to go in.
Or weird locking mechanisms.
Yes.
Gouts of flame to prevent you from going down a hallway.
Yeah. More doors may open to you the further along in this tournament you get. Losers will be confined to their quarters.
Will we be given, like, grand clockwork keys to access certain doors?
No, it's more narrative than that.
Okay.
As you advance up the tournament ladder, you're given more gears that give you more access to the machinery that is the doors instead of keys.
There's the mechanics of the access are not explained at all. It's just told that you'll get more access to the castle. And that, this tournament is 5 days long. Losers will be confined to their quarters as to not further interfere with the tournament. And to start things off before your ships depart, they're going over the room assignments. And from the tables pops out a bunch of like brass cylinders with the room assignment number. So everyone's been assigned. Not everyone's been assigned. There are a cylinder for everyone is like on the table, and you're just supposed to grab the nearest one to access your private quarters for the remainder of the tournament.
Do they all look identical?
They all do look identical until you pick it up, and they do actually have like a number on them with like a room.
Okay.
Are we at least near each other as a
Yeah,
group?
we compare our room assignments.
They show up sequentially on the tables. So if you grab 5 that are next to each other, now the wrinkle is there's 2 of each. This is the wrinkle. There are 2 of each room tokens.
And we
you have to Pai-Sho for your rooms.
Excellent.
So don't grab each other's next to them. Oh wait, if it's sequentially, we're still fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you guys won't be pitted against each other, and in fact, we're not going to do a full Pai-Sho thing for all of them, but we are all going to need to explain how we beat the other person for their room. We are all advancing into the tournament itself, but we do need to all go through and say how, like what do you do
What is our
win.
Pai-Sho strategy?
Yeah, like, or not, or you could just beat them up too. But like, what are you doing for your room? Like, how are you securing your place in this tournament? Everyone has someone else that is trying to get their room.
Bao plays a defensive style, and if that starts to not work, he'll cheat.
So yeah,
I think he's actually, once he figured out we were doing this, he has studied like defensive Pai-Sho styles, but he's just not like super great. So if he starts to lose, he will just cheat with his earthbending.
Yeah, so I think you're up against some like mid-ranking nobles kid from the Fire Nation who like you both like meet in front of the the room token you picked up. And there's a Pai-Sho board that has like been placed in front of every room for this portion of the event. And you seem to be wanting to play Pai-Sho about it, so you do the like customary like handshake and then you sit down in front of the board. And we get like a spinny camera of the two of you as you like place the pieces down. Yeah. So let's make a move. We're gonna do a move. Losing this isn't on the table. But failure on the move could have other repercussions.
I'm not sure if I could just rely on skills and training here.
I mean, you did say you studied Pai-Sho. Relying on skills and training is like functional, and you do have like formal strategic training, and some of that does carry over to abstract strategy as well.
I'll take it. Okay. So rely on skills and training. Aha! I beat him up.
You beat him soundly. This kid didn't know squat. Like, he's coming in making rookie mistakes. You thought this was gonna be hard, so you pulled out a big like opening move or something, and he just didn't have a response and crumbled.
You thought the Crystal Champ would fold like that? Ooh, no, he won't. Just full on going.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then Aeon, you got one of those mob members that meets you out front of the room.
I think Aeon like goes and like tries to shake their hand. Is like, isn't it great? We're here. We're playing Pai-Sho. This is gonna be amazing. I'm so glad you're my first opponent. Let's play a good, wonderful game, and we'll see who gets the room. And
very cheery voice coming from your big hat.
Yup.
And you just get a curt nod. His sunglasses are still on in this castle corridor.
So I think that the way Aeon's going to try and do this, like the only time we've seen him play, we actually have seen him play Pai-Sho before under Dama trying to learn from him. So he's mostly going to go with the same thing Bao Hu did, of he's going to try and play honestly. And if that does not work out, those large sleeves are quite convenient for concealing that shotgun thing. And if he's out, I should probably not lose this early in the tournament, is basically my thought. I'm very much wanting to push my luck.
Push your luck, then.
Excuse me, my opponent seems to be having a seizure.
It's an 8!
Yep, so you beat him. It is a close one. You don't have to shock him, but you do end up having to send a slight charge through the board, so a piece is misplaced and just brushed off as an accident.
Because I obviously got metal Pai-Sho tiles, because that makes sense. Okay.
On a hit, you do scrape by, so it does cost you something.
Likely evidence that it actually happened,
Yeah.
especially as it's against the mob.
He has a kind of like semi-permanent twitch in that arm. So he's like walking over and he's still like rubbing his shoulder the whole time.
That's
he
how
does
Twitchy
just
Tyrese got his name.
whisper something to one of his fellows who did win a room.
Look, that was a great game. I'm so glad we got to play. He's took out the room.
Yeah. I think the brothers are your little brothers actually participating in the tournament?
Do they have to?
I don't know.
They might be part of like your.
Are they hangers on or are they separate participants?
They're entourage, I think.
I think they're entourage, but if they wanted
They're
to
in a room
play,
with you
Bao
then, if
could
they're-
not stop them. We've
Okay, but
learned.
you're NPCs. Do you want them to play?
On a 2, they enter the tournament. They're in the tournament.
You knew
They're in
it
the
was going to
tournament.
happen.
But ironically, they have to fight each other for a room. So I need you to roll another die and tell me which one wins the room. Because they share the room either way.
Yeah.
But...
A 1 is the Earthbender one, and on a 2, it's the non-Earthbender one.
Which one is stalactite and which one's stalagmite?
Might is the non-Earthbender. Tight is the Earthbender.
Might and tight. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's just what he calls him in his voice. Might and tight. Oh yeah.
So tight has won. Is carrying on in this tournament?
No, Might. The non-Earthbender one. He just actually is good at Pai-Sho.
Are they identical twins, by the way?
Yeah.
Other than the bending, I think they are.
Other than the bending, yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. You can just have one out of the room at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they want to get... They're sharing the room. Yeah. I think, Sato, you have, like, another Fire Nation person, but this is, ironically, because that's how this has to go, some other Fire Nation military, like, retired personnel who is taken to Pai-Sho. He still has, like, a military-style jacket, but he does also have old man beard, and that is not appropriate for the military.
Okay, well, my
You don't know him personally, but like you would recognize, like, oh, he was in the Fire Nation army.
Okay. Well, my key strategy to winning this is to make it look like he's cheating and get him caught for cheating.
So you're reverse pickpocketing Pai-Sho tiles into his sleeve.
Yep. I'm relying on my outlaw background. It's a 13.
Yeah, so halfway through, you grab his wrist and pull the sleeve up, and there's somehow, unbeknownst to him, 8 or 9 tiles that are just like lining up his arm, and you
This man is cheating,
and you have them all like click clack to the ground, and you have him removed from the tournament by a guard.
Perfect.
This will happen 6 more times and no one will catch on.
Yep. You just have a bad habit of people cheating when playing you. All in the same
Everyone
way.
Everyone always cheats against that old man. How strange.
It's incredible how many dishonorable players they have invited to this tournament.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then we also have Quiwa needs someone. You need to beat someone.
Yep. Who am I beating?
they're clearly wearing some sort of, I don't know, stone mask of some kind. They are one of the extra figures that we'll probably not see later because you're gonna beat them. But they have like a bigger than their head stone mask and like an olive green kind of nondescript type body thing.
So they look like weird and mysterious with the stone mask on, basically.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Quiwa.
They're already like sitting down playing Pai-Sho by themselves when you arrive at your room.
Perfect. Quiwa is gonna, I think, take a second to like look at how they're playing and watch them. She's gonna sit down just in front of the table and put out her tiles as well. And I think that she's gonna start off by trying to like make conversation, which at first is friendly, but quickly becomes her trying to sort of get her opponent to tilt. Which depends on how they respond, because different things work for different people. But what she's going to be trying to do is trying to get them to attack her aggressively, and then basically like surround their like outplay them by making them make a mistake. She's trying to trick them.
That feels like a trick. So yeah, that'll be, I don't know, mixed results with this person. You'll know if you succeed, because I don't know, they earthbend the mask angry. Like
Perfect.
There's like a very visual response to this.
They don't talk the whole time?
Yeah, it's just earthbending the mask.
Perfect.
Is
Okay.
kind of the gimmick.
Like the actual expression on the mask changes?
Yeah, the face changes
I love that.
on the mask because they're an earthbender.
Okay.
Yeah.
So trick text is here. Trick roll is also a 12.
Yeah. So you keep, I don't know, making you keep talking to them when they're trying to like play their game of Pai-Sho, and eventually they get mad and make some mistake, and you take advantage of it, and you kind of like, huzzah, I win or whatever, and then the eyes get real narrow, and then they kind of fade back into the walls of the castle, and the mask is the last thing to go.
Perfect. Are we treating this like
And
a
then
normal trick, or just like sort of using it as a thing? Because trick has its own stuff that we can ignore if it makes sense to ignore.
You rolled a 10 plus. You did trick the NPC. They fell for it. Yeah. Take 2. They're
Okay.
not disappearing. You tricked them. Now they're in the castle walls.
Perfect. Then I'm going to go with they stumble and they act foolishly. So I'm going to get +1 forward to act against them. So I'm at 2 people I can get +4 to act against, the 4-year-old and the stone mask person. I'm just going to keep gathering my +1s.
Yeah. So yeah, put the contender in the stone mask and the wolf baby as people you have +1 forward against.
Perfect.
Just collect those. We can just collect those because it's a good way of keeping track of who's important.
Yep, I am keeping it on my bio and info tape. My Pai-Sho wolves and the stone mask. Could I tell? Were they androgynous looking? Like I couldn't tell gender. Is it? I'll just do stone mask person then.
You would assume it's like your best guess, but it looked like a masculine person.
Okay.
But more mime is the predominant gender markers.
I'm just gonna go with
mime.
Stone face is what I dub them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stone-faced. You can't say I want to say duelist, but duelist is wrong.
Stone face. Their name is one word. Stone face. Cool. That's written down. And then the other one was they act foolishly. It doesn't have to be now. You can do it when it makes sense, but there's some kind of additional opportunity they give me.
They're staying in the castle, foolishly.
Perfect.
Because they have lost the room.
And they shouldn't be here
And
anymore.
they should not be here anymore.
Excellent. I will keep that in mind for later.
So yeah, you all get lodgings.
I think as soon as Aeon's in his room, he starts trying to, like, trap it.
Yeah, they are...
Space, I'm going to make sure as best I can there are no bugs in the walls.
Well, we already know someone's moving between the walls now, so...
It could be a friend.
They're nice enough. A little bit outdated. They all have, very expensively for this time period, a floor-to-ceiling mirror. Like a big strip of floor-to-ceiling mirror, because that's classy to have in a hotel. They have a Pai-Sho board on the floor, and like a nice rug in each room. They have a bed, and like a little nightside table. Then, they have a mini fridge. There's a mini fridge. It pipes cold air in from a weird ventilation system. Inside there's a jug of iced tea and some like oranges.
If anyone comes to find me, I'm in the process of taking that mini fridge apart.
Is it the same in all of our rooms?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Oh, Bao checks to make sure it's not a one-way mirror.
Two-way mirror?
You've never seen a mirror this big. You're not even sure that one-way mirrors exist in this world.
Oh, then Bao will earthbend to like get behind the mirror. See if
That's
he can
acceptable. Yeah, it's a mirror. It's on the stone.
Excellent. Yeah, Bao just makes a little like hidey hole.
Oh, you making your own secret chamber?
I'm gonna make secret tunnels again.
This is a castle. There's stone walls, but on the other side of the wall is someone else's room.
Whose room is on the other side? Is it one of ours?
Play Pai-Sho for a second person's room. We did take them sequentially, so it actually might be.
We're probably, like, if we broke the walls between our rooms, we'd be there, but maybe not back to back.
You have a 1 in 4 chance of it being a stranger.
It is up to you. As the only earthbender, it is up to you if you want to take that risk.
So it's a 1 in 4? Is it if I roll a 1?
Yeah. It's a stranger's room.
Can I check before I blast through the
just
wall, or can I
open a peek hole?
Yeah, you can make a peephole.
Yeah.
You can, yes, please roll to see whose room the peephole is in. So we got 1 as a stranger. Who's 2?
Dibs on 3.
I already rolled it.
Oh,
what was 4? Yeah.
So
who's number 4? Yeah, so we got 1, 2. Right, so you're 1, 2, 3. 1's a stranger. 2, 3, 4.
We'll
so yeah, it's Aeon's
Sato.
room. You have a people into Aeon's room. So Aeon, as you're taking the fridge apart, you look up and you just see like a hole with an eyeball poked up against it.
And then I'll just meld through the wall to your room.
And then the eyeball gets closer.
Actually, probably right around now. I'm focused on some other things, and my focus has always been pretty bad, so I don't think I notice it.
So you're just tinkering, and then all of a sudden Bao goes, "What are you doing?"
I think I jump. Good call.
You jump and throw a pipe up in the air that you were trying to tighten something on.
I think I chuck it at the hole in the wall, wherever the sound came from.
I think Bao would have gotten all the way in if you didn't notice.
Yeah, then you get hit with a pipe.
This isn't strike 3, but it's very close to strike 3.
If you're going to come into my room, please warn me.
I just wanted you to know we share a wall, so we can talk.
That might be helpful because I'm pretty sure I just ticked off the mob. Look, I didn't mean to. We had to play someone to win the room.
Yeah, I beat a kid. He was like 14.
Look, we didn't get to pick our opponents.
I played an adult man.
But
You
don't
pissed
worry,
off the mob?
I'll try and make it better, and that'll work, right?
We don't want this mission getting more complicated than it already is.
I could pretend to join the mob.
That's so much more complicated. What? Okay. If they approach you, let me know, and then we can go from there. If it's just they're mad, there's nothing we could do about it. You wait for them to make the first move, and then we'll either squash them or rope them into this somehow.
All right.
All right.
Oh. That actually triggers a move for me.
Yep, Lodestar.
What?
1 second, copy pasting this thing. I have not played a lot with these. So when you consult your Lodestar for advice on a problem,
Oh.
or permission to use your preferred solution, which just both happened, roll with restraint. You said that there was a button to roll on the token.
Just click the
click your
arrow
token
button.
and then
Oh yeah, or that, or click your token. But there's also an arrow button to the left and right of each.
Mm-hmm.
the arrow button that just moves things. That
it
doesn't
just
roll
moves
anything.
things.
Yes.
Oh.
So click your token. You'll see principal roll in the top left of the tabletop.
Okay. I see it. There we go. It's
So
at
it's-
a 0, so
Yeah,
submit.
just 2d6.
All right.
A 7.
They choose to. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Jordan
choose
gets
to.
to pick 2.
You get to see how well I actually take your advice to not join the mob.
Oh, I feel at ease offering my opinion. I'd like to clear a condition.
Sorry. I feel like... Yeah. The days is just me mixing things up, but yeah, that's correct. Bao gets to clear a condition or 2 fatigue with that choice.
Sweet. I will get rid of guilty, and then do you have conditions or anything you need cleared?
So early.
All right, I'll shift your balance.
So Aeon's 2 are restraint and results. I would probably say that this makes sense on restraint.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it says you see the wisdom of their advice, they shift your balance, follow their advice, and they shift your balance again.
Yep.
So don't join the mob, and you get more restrained.
Yep.
That makes sense. Don't join the mob. Let them come to you if they have a problem, and let me know, and then we'll figure it out together. Okay? We're opening lines of communication.
All right, if that's how we're gonna do this, open lines of communication come to you with problems. I think I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I still suggest you don't come into my room without warning me.
I will knock next time. I wanted to see who I was sharing a wall with first, and you looked busy. I wanted to, let you know.
Yeah. And then
just like Homer Simpson meme back through the wall.
As you do that, we swipe cut to the entrance ceremony for this tournament. It is another meal, and the centerpiece of the room is a giant board that has brackets on it, and none of the names are on it yet. And we get the other two, Sakiwa and Sato's perspective as they come in to this room. Now that the group has been winnowed in half. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're probably in discussion with each other. Quiwa wants to make a plan once things are settled down for how we might locate Bato. Does that work with you, Sato?
Yeah. You've got to move to do that. I remember.
I do, and I think it's good if like it's. Let me look at the text for it. When you commit to a plan you've proposed to the group, so I think it's a bit too early for the role.
Okay.
But I think
Can you?
Is that a
I'll
direction we
take a
want
look
to
at it.
go? I'll put it in. Yeah, can I? There's no role. Okay, yeah, there's no button to export custom moves. There we go.
Yeah.
So right now she's not committed to the plan. I think we're just ironing out the details. We don't even necessarily need to get into details. I'm more running it by you like, do we want to move on this at the first opportunity?
Yeah, I think the response is more in line with we need to see. We should be provoking reactions amongst the other players to see how this place responds to that.
I have one in mind already. And she like makes sure no one's listening, and like you see her like she glances at the floor and like the ceiling as well before she leans in and says, "The person I played against is able to move amongst the stone. They didn't leave. They just walked into a wall. They're still around here. We can call the guards on them."
Yes, it would be good to see how they react to such a situation.
Okay. Later on, I will probably do I think it would make sense to like try this as an assess later of like assess how the guards react, but I'll do that later. I mean, unless we want to now, but how are people feeling?
So there are like a couple more guards at this one, in case anyone had any complaints about the first portion of this.
Okay.
Because Hanto is joining like the group for the meal, trying to show off and like glad hand people who have made it past the wheat that's been separated from the chaff kind of sort of thing, where it's like you have proven that you're worthy to be at this event.
Mm-hmm.
The invitation alone wasn't enough to prove your prowess.
Quiwa will, in that case, approach one of the guards. I don't think she would risk approaching Hanto himself in case she gets recognized. But she approaches one of the guards, like full disguise on, coldly.
Do you have? There's not like an assess skill I can.
There's an assess move. What do you mean?
I'm lamenting because I played World of Dungeons earlier this week, and one of the skills in that is assess, and it's really easy to be like, if you have the assess skill, I can give you a bit of information you noticed kind of thing, and that's what I was looking for here.
Yeah, for these, I typically just tell them to say it anyways, but it's up to you.
Yeah. As you start approaching the guards, he's not like in the direction you're walking, but you do notice that there is the familiar face of Lieutenant Kai, like near
Perfect. Okay, I will try to approach the guard if it's not suspicious. Like if I don't have to like start circling someone, I'm gonna try and approach it so like the guard I'm talking to is physically in between Hanto and Kai and me.
I think the way it went is you started walking towards the guards, and then you noticed Lieutenant Kai, who's wearing a guard's uniform, but has much better hair than the rest of the guards, basically. Like he's clearly wearing the guard uniform, but he's like a character that matters guard.
Perfect.
And then you like change your path to like hook around to catch a different guard.
Yeah.
For your mission here.
Perfect. Yeah, I approach the new and doesn't have like it has the helmet and face mask covering on. Like they're definitely no one special because we don't see their face. Guard. And I approach them coldly, like full, like not unpleasant person disguise who always thinks she's the smartest one in the room and won't stop telling you about it. Strides towards her. She strides towards the guard and just starts berating their security for like not dealing with this person and who should be like that's how she's trying her presentation of telling the guard about this person is just I can't believe you haven't already kicked him out of it. There is someone who is still here. I beat them and they haven't left, and she's just immediately jumping to attacking them verbally. Not personal insults, but just the level of service here is awful, kind of thing. You should be ashamed of yourselves. She's going
Who's your
full
manager?
Karen. Yeah, she is Karening them to get them to respond.
Is that an intimidate?
I don't think the guards would act anyways when they learn about it, so I'm not trying to get them to do something they wouldn't already. Other than that, I leave it up to Indigo. That's just how I'm letting them know. I'm not making a huge fuss. I'm not asking to speak to anyone. I'm just being kind of a jerk to this one guard.
Yeah, and you're trying to I feel like assess is the main goal of this thing, to get some stammering like, no, we totally have security kind of answers.
Yeah, and it's kind of like I want to huffily like follow the guard, and like I want to make sure I watch this person get kicked out, because how dare they try to stay in like not leave when they're supposed to, kind of. And that's how I'm assessing.
I think assess is the best move to represent what your goal is here. So
Can I use my +1 forward against Stoneface here?
Oh, you're trying to get Stoneface removed?
That is who I'm reporting as the person to get to the guards as my method of assessing.
If you're trying to plead or intimidate them to do something about Stoneface, then yes. But if you're just trying to get information about the guards in general, like if you're trying to get information
my
from
primary goal is not to get Stoneface kicked out. I'm just letting them know about Stoneface.
Then no, you can't like use the +1.
Okay.
Because this isn't taking that is. For that, it has to be direct action against them.
That sounds good. Then I will hold on to my +1 forward against them for later, and I will assess. That is another 12. Here's the text for it. So, the first question I will ask, or before I ask, do you want to describe?
It's that, like, you start saying, like, oh, my competitor didn't immediately leave, they're still in the castle somewhere, what are you gonna do about it? Are you even a real guard, kind of, like stuff.
Like, were you just hired yesterday for this event? Do you even know what you're doing? Are you certified? I'd like to see your, like, she doesn't go up to, I'd like to see your ID.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that kind of stuff. You get a couple answers. The main caveat on the answers means they have to be, something this guard would be able to answer, but also along the lines of responses they would give a person who's not like a guard. Like they're not gonna tell you.
Oh yeah, they're treating me like a civilian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you pick up information from like body language that they might not have intentionally revealed?
Yes, totally. But I mean, like, the guard doesn't gonna have good answers. My point is the questions on that list aren't the best for the kind of things you're.
He's not gonna like move on this right now, or even let anyone else know.
Yeah, but you definitely get your answers. You get three questions that
2, I think.
Like, well, you rolled a 12.
It's 2.
A 12 on a 10 plus is 2 for this assess.
The 12 doesn't give you bonuses.
Nope.
No, there's some.
Not in this game.
Not in this game.
We're not all like Dominic and ask like 8 questions.
I know, it feels so low.
So I think.
Yeah, you get 2 questions.
I'm gonna go with. Firstly, what is my best way through these guys, these regular guards, if they're, how can I tell what the best way is? Like, if they're guarding something or something like that, what would be my best way through them?
If they're guarding something,
if I want to get somewhere that they don't want me to, what's my best way to go to get them to back off? Or it could be tricking them. I'm assuming, meaning like not where somewhere I'm not supposed to be. Actually, is the right way to put it.
Yeah. You can make a lot of progress because they are bound by the silly rules of this Pai-Sho island. You can access from what you understand, even winning one day of the tournament will double your access to the castle.
Okay, perfect.
That is your simplest way. The other way is the classic light a fire in the bathroom and then run up the stairs. Guard distraction.
Classic distractions will work against them. Perfect.
Yeah, because they aren't even like high class guards. These are just like the guards hired for the private island.
And my next question is, what here can I use to find out where Bato is?
Or the kid is?
Yeah,
I assume we'll get to. I guess the kid, but I assume Bato will probably be near his adopted kid / nephew.
How old is the child?
10.
10.
He might be in the tournament. I don't know.
The kid's not in the tournament. But the kid is old enough to be brought to observe the tournament. So that's the easiest way to get eyes on him. The easiest way to find out where the kid would be, and you catch this when the guard says like, "Oh," like you just hear the word tutor when the guard is explaining like who's allowed through certain things. So you think that there is some tutor with access.
Okay, perfect.
I guess we didn't even recognize the kid. None of us have seen him.
None of us have seen the kid. We would not recognize him other than someone who's around the age of the twins, maybe slightly younger.
Look for the rich child and not the child with the wolf pelt.
Yes. I mean,
How many children
is
are
not
on
10.
this island?
More than there should be. It's the answer.
2d6 children.
2d6
Perfect.
children.
You brought 2 of them yourself.
Okay, so we're gonna. Okay, there's 10 kids. We know of 3 children. So we subtract 3. There's 7 other kids on this island.
We need to get a babysitting service.
At least a few of them are stacked in a trench coat. And are
of course, yeah. There is literally 3 kids in a trench coat somewhere here.
New plan: we steal 7 children instead of finding the 1 child.
My other new plan is we actually start a babysitting service, and during the babysitting service, we make the kids our spies.
Well, one of us needs to flunk out first, but also definitely on that.
So Quiwa having...
Is that your plan that you're going to propose to the group? Because if so, this sounds like a great time for a roll.
I am not actually going to propose that. I go back to Sato, and I explain what I heard, that there is... the guards are not especially, like... They'll come running if there's a noise. They will leave their post if something comes up that is urgent.
It's just notable because y'all are used to military guards, and these are a step below. Like
these are like
military guards.
Mall
like
cops,
city guards.
City guards, yeah. Mall cops may be a bit too low, but yeah, they're
not soldiers who are on guard duty. They are guards who are.
They're more like cops.
Yeah. I also relay the tutor information to Sato. We don't know who the tutor is, but there is a tutor with access. We might be able to use that.
Yeah. And then I think with that, the other 2 make it into the room. The 2 children in their little, like, spiky costumes are here as well. And you see the lights kind of, like, have brass clampers that dim them a bit, and then some lights go up on the big board, and stones begin, like, they're stone tumble dice with different letters on them, begin like rainfall spitting down the board and settling from top to bottom as the names for the tournament are for the first day of the like for tomorrow's opening match are assigned. And then we fade to our commercial break where we're selling like hair care products and tonics and
action figures.
I was gonna say children's toys, basically. Yeah, get your Crystal Champion action figure now.
Whoa!
Perfect. We'll be back in a few minutes with part 2. Thank you everyone for watching. Hello, everybody. We are back with part 2 of Avatar Legends Book 3, Episode 1.
Yeah.
I've been practicing.
Part 2 is the cawing of some evil seabirds on the steep cliff castle,
Gull
awaking
ravens.
everyone. Yeah, some like eel ravens. Yeah, eel ravens.
Excellent.
They're horrifying, slimy nightmare creatures with
flying.
double beaks.
Yeah, they look like flying snakes or something.
Yeah, they're scary, and they're loud, and they're waking everyone up for breakfast. Yes. So we all have a little bit of time to chow down on room service before we descend to the castle grounds for the first round of the tournament.
This is.
I assume we figured out where each other's rooms are.
We chose sequentially, so yeah, we're
yeah. So where everyone's doing everyone has a thing. It can be with someone else that is like during this breakfast time.
Quiwa hasn't had this many food options since before she was put in prison, and this is the first time she's like, "Oh, right, this is what being rich and having food options
This is what
are
all
like.
that money's for."
Yeah, this is what I used to eat all the time. What do I pick? What do I pick? And you can see she's not actually, she's still trying to be in disguise around, but like she's very much underneath all that. She's just like, for like several minutes looking at the like equivalent of a menu.
We previously saw the bracket, right? So we know who we're up against.
You do know who you're up against.
Okay. I would like to get eyes on whoever I'm up against during breakfast.
Yeah, so you want to be stalking the halls trying to find them? What's the
I figure they'll be in the mess hall or whatever you want to call it, the dining area.
So yeah, you can go down to like the area where little tables are. Some people like you have taken their breakfast down to the mess hall rather than choose to eat in their room. There's a couple games of Pai-Sho going on, like some with bags of gold on the table, and others just casually. There's a pair playing speed Pai-Sho, where they have little like timer clocks going on, and they have the technique is you have one hand holding over your pieces and one hand hovering over the clock, so you don't waste any time.
Okay. Yeah. Do I see my daily nemesis or nemesis of the day?
Yeah. There's gotta be the way the assess roll is too grandiose to just be like, are they there? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
I'm
I think
looking for
you need a charge situation, right? Yeah.
I'm just looking for a small, like maybe it tracks, so we're gonna
do a die of fate.
Yeah, we're doing a die of fate. That is the correct answer. It's pretty even. That's a 1. Ones are bad, so no. No, they do not appear to be here.
Are there like pictures with the names, or have we just kind of figured out this is?
There's
the name
probably names, but we don't have pictures, I would assume.
Yeah, there's names. They did not have portrait artists come and take down your visage.
That'll happen as we get
drive it across a block.
Are any of us up against someone who we might know, or just people?
We're not sure at this point. Like they're like we know the names, but it's not like they're. It doesn't matter at this point. Like who we're specifically up against. It's not.
Yeah. At
there's
this
no
point,
one of note. It's other competitors at this point. It's not a.
We're still in the preliminaries.
Yeah, so it's no one important.
None of them will get voice lines when we play against them.
Yeah, they're gonna get their intro sequence. Like they're gonna get their like shot with their name and like what they look like when you sit down to play them. But that is about as much about the character as we get beyond the actual Pai-Sho game.
Yep. Is Dama also staying like near us? Like he's still around? I assume he's, as we discussed
Dama's
previously, he's focusing on the game.
Yeah. The Dama is downstairs playing Pai-Sho,
practicing
breakfast. Yeah. just against people. He's not. He's just playing pretty casual Pai-Sho. He seems to be betting in breakfast items.
Excellent.
As opposed to like a cash-based system.
Nice.
You gotta show up with a plate. You play. The winner gets both plates.
We get the bagel. No, I want the one with butter. Okay.
If we've got things that we're doing, I'm also looking for someone. I'm looking for Natsu to see if I can find her at the breakfast area, and if I can't, I'm going door knocking.
Yeah, so that seems like you are taking a slightly bigger action to find Natsu. So I guess, if you're showing door knocking, I think that's pushing your luck.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because there's plenty of doors that you shouldn't have knocked on. So those are available for failure.
I just love if you knocked on the door and it's the mob again.
Yeah, that's obviously what a bad roll is. You just
look. I'm not trying.
It's the guy the mobster talked to when he lost.
Yeah,
that one worked.
13. So yeah, after knocking on one room that seems to have been occupied almost exclusively by a Weasel Shih Tzu hybrid, with no owner in sight, but it was kind of hissy and snappy, you do find Natsu's room, and you see that there are weird ticking light contraptions going off in it as the door kind of opens when you knock on it, and she is playing a practice game on her own Pai-Sho board with some weird mechanical contraption pushing the pieces on for the other side.
Okay, I'm like, hi, I'm Ianai, and I noticed your mechanical thing yesterday, and I was just wondering, could I come in and see and just learn a little bit more about it? And I'm going to try and edge my way into the room without her, pushing me out. Depending on how she reacts to that.
So you're gonna forcefully make friends.
He's a little bit taken aback by someone literally just barging into the room, introducing themselves, and then just walking towards her. That's not scary.
Look, I'm not. Well, actually, at this point, I probably am about her height. Oh.
Yeah, you're adult-sized at the very least at this point, or close there too. The big hat isn't making you look smaller.
No.
Despite the fact you're indoors.
Look, apparently important.
It was.
Yeah, she's taken aback by the fact that you're barging in the room and is kind of quickly going to cover up her mechanical Pai-Sho machine.
If I can get into the room and close the door, I'm going to take off the hat and hug her.
All right. Yes. I mean, you get smacked. Like, I don't know what to. Like, it's a couple like
basically
flailing arm smacks as response. Like, get off of me, stranger.
No, sorry, I didn't. Hi, I'm not Ianai or whoever that is. Don't you recognize me? It's been so long. Sorry, I just wanted to talk to you in private, and I wanted to know how the village is doing.
Oh, and then at this point, we get the glimmer of recognition of, oh, you're that small child who I taught how to do stuff.
Small. It hasn't been that long. But yeah, I had no idea you played Pai-Sho. Like, how did you get here?
I was invited. Like, I presume you were as well?
In a more roundabout fashion. I mean, I've played Pai-Sho a little bit, but we're actually here to, well, we really need apparently there's this kid on the island, and we need to get him
I
back.
saw the wolf baby. Quite an
Oh,
impressive
no.
sight that a child that small has earned the right to be here.
No, not the wolf baby. So you know how when we were I was taken off to prison? Well, I met some
Yeah,
people, and
rewind. Did this person know you were taken off to prison?
she was essentially my caregiver. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. So they took us off to prison, and I found a couple of people, and one of them, he's a Fire Nation officer. And it turns out that he had a secret son, and that it was being kept, and so we've got to find that kid. And do you want to help us?
So you're from the Fire Nation, right?
She is. I am Earth Nation. She
Okay.
basically, the backstory of City there was we were collaborating with the Earth Nation. Something went very, very wrong. And basically the Fire Nation came in and helped with some tech stuff there. Before the war broke out, and when the war did break out, a bit more tensions, we decided to rebel, and in the course of doing that, I got swept up on the wrong side.
So from her perspective on this story, you were let out of jail by a Fire Nation officer, because that's the information you just told her.
Yep.
So you're not actually breaking the law, according to the story you just lied about.
Accidentally.
I was just talking about Sato. It just may have come out unclearly.
Yeah, you framed it like you didn't break out of jail, so we're just gonna let that be known.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're pleading with her to help a Fire Nation officer. This seems like something she would be amenable to doing.
All right. I'm good with
because
that.
any good Fire Nation citizen's duty is to help out in these circumstances. There's a Fire Nation officer has a missing child.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11. Yeah.
Apparently.
Under these circumstances, she will help.
They act now and will do their best to help us. Look, guys, I got a friend!
Yeah. She'll be looking for the child of a Fire Nation officer.
I'm so glad to see you again, and so everything at home is okay?
Like, oh, she has actually left the village. Like, your village. All of the Fire Nation tech people left the village not that long after you were sent off to prison. So she's not actually sure how they're doing. She has been reassigned to other projects and has taken a little bit of a vacation to show everyone who's boss at Pai-Sho. She's got a reputation to uphold.
Well, I mean, I guess it's too bad that we can't learn about stuff, but here, can I have you, will you come meet the rest of the group with me?
Yes, of course. Like, let's go speak in the breakfast hall. As she grabs her bagels from the robot who brought them over.
All right. I think that is a switch to someone else, unless I'm going door knocking to find which of you.
Yeah, no, someone else. What are you doing for breakfast?
Do we want to continue with that thing with the plan of like, are the three of us holed up in a room with room service planning like how to get?
It feels like everyone's assembling in the like.
Are we in the mess hall?
Everyone starts in their room and can have room service brought there, but it feels like we're all making our way down towards the mess hall.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Between the time you wake up and when we all meet in the mess hall where we do your plan bit, what are you up to anything specific?
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you go first.
Bao is taking like a large crystal of some sort, and he's trying to like carve as accurate a map of the grounds as he like has access to. Right, just so like he has a map. I assume those aren't provided.
No, maps are not provided.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can start a map of the areas you've had access to so far. Totally. We just Bao's held up in his room, just like with a crystal ball, and he's focusing on it, and little lines are getting etched into it.
Yeah, like everyone's room is labeled for like that he knows.
You be working on a map.
I think Quiwa will be studying. She literally has a book of like Pai-Sho, the history of Pai-Sho techniques basically, and she's just trying to memorize as much as she can. That's what she's.
Yeah, it's just a book of openings. Like
Yeah, openings and like classic counters for this opening, and she's just trying to like, yeah,
get them all in
she
there.
is very, very much book learning.
So yeah, towards the end of the breakfast period, I guess we get the whole group assembled at the table, having already had breakfast or on subsequent rounds thereof.
+1, I introduce Natsu to the rest of you.
Yeah. And then she turns to the what must be the retired Fire Nation officer in search of his missing child, and like very like conspiratorial look, like whispers to Sato like it would be my pleasure to help you, officer, kind of thing. Good Fire Nation citizen affirming their assistance to the proper authority.
There's a narrowing of eyes and a shifting of a look toward Aeon. And then looks back and says, "Thank you, madam. Your kindness is will not go unnoticed."
Aeon's just wearing the hat again, so it's hard to read the entire expression, but he seems very happy.
And
Spow is staring at Aeon.
I see you know our
Quiwa hasn't noticed any of this yet.
here.
She's still like face in book.
You still have the book?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Natsu. She was a huge help to me when my sister died. But yeah, she taught me like everything that I haven't figured out from Honto about tech and all of the amazing stuff that it can do. Oh, show them the Pai-Sho shuffler.
And she's like, it's like, oh, this thing, and she like does the silly sleeve thing again, where she has the Tower of Pai-Sho tiles that goes from a collapsed like disc thing, and it turns out, and all the tiles turn up to face you to easily be able to grab them out.
Crystal Champion prefers to do it himself. Oh yeah.
And you like you look at your sack of Pai-Sho tiles, not on a cool display thing at all. Yeah. So y'all were, I don't know, she makes like nice small talk and sits down and joins the group of you.
Quiwa now notices as she sits down and looks up and is like very much has those eyes of like what's happening as she looks up.
Yes, Summer. This is a friend of our compatriot who has promised to help a Fire Nation officer find his child.
Yeah, Quiwa like doesn't immediately respond, and then she says, after a second, "A pleasure to meet you."
So, do we have any plans on how we're going to do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, as y'all are talking about like, oh, this is why we're all here, Natsu talks a little bit about like, oh, I'm here to like defend my reputation in the tournament. I'm assuming that like you are all also participants to like, and a little bit of talk about like, oh, how long do you think you'll last in the tournament? I'm assuming you need to be, that is part of the reason why you're here, of course, with your, but everyone has like their own motivations for being here. And she points out like, oh, that one's here to actually, funny enough, to kill a child, and so on and so forth.
Any specific one?
It's the wolf baby again. They're
Perfect.
here to take out the
Oh,
wolf
all right, we
baby.
don't care about that one.
I think Sato will explain to Natsu that knowledge of him being a Fire Nation soldier is like he's here on the down low looking for information.
retired.
So not to really
Of course,
talk
of
about
course.
that.
Yeah, it would be impolite. Quiwa says, perhaps discussions about this are better left off.
Off camera?
No, I think she says, like, in character, she says, perhaps we better discuss this in our rooms. And she, like, I think gives Aeon a look, like, what are you trying to bring her in? Yeah, a questioning look. You had a questioning look.
Yeah, and she
to
nods.
at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and kind
Yeah,
of
she nods in understanding, like, yeah, we can talk about this after the tournament. Like, we don't have to plan this at the breakfast table. That's probably a bad idea. You're right. And then is talking about the games or whatever.
I kind of noticed the looks, and I'll look like between you and between them, and realize that the entirety of the group is for some reason not happy with me. Can't imagine why. And say, oh yeah, I guess it would make sense if we went to our rooms together because we came here. But maybe I can just fill you in later.
Suspicious.
And she's like, yeah, yes, of course. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Oh yeah.
But
Quiwa
yeah,
would
and
give
then,
Bao a look. Quiwa looks intently at Bao, and then looks intently at Aeon, and back to Bao and back to Aeon, and then pointedly goes back to her book.
Oh, I know something you could do. If you wouldn't mind, would you watch the stalagmite and stalactite? They're around here somewhere, and
Might and tight are always all round. I don't know exactly where right now.
as they are ducking
really
under people's legs in the breakfast hall.
They're like 11, 12, aren't they? How old were they?
There's a pie fight going on the other side of the room somehow.
Probably.
Crystal Champion would appreciate it if you could watch them so we don't have to find 2 more kids.
Are you asking me to?
No, not you.
I'm trying to use up the gained favor with babysitting.
I think that's more an excuse to like leave us alone for a minute, because we have serious things to talk about.
I'm actually kind of trying to kill 2 birds, not use up favor, but actually keep an eye on the twins so that there's less ability for them to narratively chuck us.
I mean, I'm just saying it feels a little bit rude to make a friend, bring her to breakfast, to be like, can you
babysit for us? Thanks. Okay, we're going out now. Bye.
Friends, ask a favor of a parent.
I'll interrupt the foisted babysitting, and because she is knowledgeable about the people in the room, I will ask her about the people in the room. Specifically, I'll use her to assess and miss.
Oh.
If you need 3 people to help, huh?
Yeah.
Do we all want to help?
I'm
You
interested.
don't have to. Ask a question. What do you want to know about people in the room?
It's gonna be bad. Do it before you do it. I have no fatigue. I can spend a fatigue.
I don't have any either. Yeah.
Yeah, I can spend the fatigue.
Okay, we're gonna up it to a 7.
okay.
We're each spending a
Alright,
fatigue.
You'll ask and get an actual answer now.
Yeah. Through her lens.
We haven't yet done what should I be on the lookout for.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Like, what is she on the lookout for here? Like, what?
Oh, the tournament organizers planting competitors to save on prize money.
So the fix is in.
Yeah, be on the lookout for it's Lieutenant Kai. Be on the lookout for Lieutenant Kai. We'll be winning an eerie number of matches. Like, you as a party know that she's not specifically sure who it's going to be, but we know from the haircut and the guard uniform that that's the plant.
Yeah. She's talking about it, and the camera sort of like focuses past us on the as he walks in.
He comes in the room and like grabs a glass of juice. But yeah,
then I just head to the room to go plan.
And you scurry back to your room.
Yeah, we're like halfway through eating food, and Quiwa's like, but the bacon wrapped eggs are like, she's just like, but my fancy food.
Yeah, so you don't quite have time to go back to your rooms to plan, but you can walk a circuitous path to the tournament grounds to get a little bit of like...
Oh, there's like an outdoor area, yeah.
Yeah, to the castle grounds for the first round of this tournament. So if you wanted to like have a conversation if you wanted to walk and talk, you can get some time alone.
Let's walk along the beach. If that works.
What part of be patient do you not understand?
Look,
Natsu's with us still? Or not?
No, she's not. That's what I meant. Like, this is the easiest way to get you out of that.
Didn't I?
Sorry, I missed the first part.
I did something I shouldn't have, didn't I?
Aeon? Who is that woman?
You made it more complicated.
Look, I haven't seen her since I was captured. It's been a while. That's someone who's really important to me.
Have you told us about Aeon? Has Aeon told us about Natsu before?
Probably not.
Okay.
No one seemed to be interested or ask, really, so.
Aeon, your intentions, as always, were very well-founded. However, the existence of a Fire Nation soldier looking for his son on this island is not something we want to pass around, even to those we trust.
I figured she could help. She's obviously better at, Pai-Sho than any of us are, Dama not being here.
Dama's not part of this powwow group.
Dama's studying. He's like, we're like
here for the tournament.
Yeah, we go and check with Dama. He's like, no, I'm playing. I'm in the middle of a game.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
As I said, Aeon, your intentions were very well founded. However, this is delicate, and as much as it goes against how you are built as a person, you need to be subtle and lie.
It would have been okay if you're like, hi, it's me, Aeon, your old pal, but don't say, I'm here on a secret mission to get a kid. You could just say, I'm here for Pai-Sho. You could have just lied.
She knows I suck at Pai-Sho. Well, I did. I never really played it much before Dama, but...
Yeah, you say you found a great teacher.
Can we use this?
Use how?
What's your plan?
If reports get out that a Fire Nation officer is here looking for their child, and she knows it's us, we will quickly be identified and kicked off the island. Is there any way to redirect her or use her in a way that will make it easier for us? You've already introduced... what's your disguise name?
My disguise?
No, Sato's. Sorry, I'm gonna go pull open the thing.
Oh, it's Naruse.
Naruse. You've already introduced Naruse to Natsuo, meaning that he will be targeted if this gets out.
So I guess we have to watch his back more?
There is another extreme option. Intentionally throw a match, get Naruse kicked off the island, and find a new disguise. As an existing player, there were several others who fit your appearance, or at least approximation. Yep.
Old men.
There's so many other old men here. You could just fit in.
Just old men body hop.
Yeah.
Perhaps the easier
extreme.
option would be to ensure that she loses her next match.
just for clarity, are people who losing match going off the island now, or are they still stuck till the end?
We aren't going now because we're part of Dama's team, basically, and he hasn't lost.
It's unclear. You're either trapped in your room or you go home. One of the two. You're
I
just
think it's-
kind of like off the
Your
board.
movement is restricted enough that you have zero agency.
She is almost like she'd have to do something extreme to be a threat, and
Yeah.
I mean, we could make sure she loses her match, but it seemed like that was something that mattered to her, and wouldn't it be more helpful to us if she wasn't stuck in her room?
What is her loyalty?
To the Fire Nation?
So not to us.
I mean, I'm sure she's loyal to me a bit.
Yeah, but to you is different than to me or to Naruse. I say like looking around. Or to Summer. Because she might not rat you out, but she would rat us out.
I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
We will let the situation lie for now. We have options.
We don't have
We
to
will.
move immediately. Quiba says in agreement. While we're here, though,
Right now, we need to figure out how to get past security and how to figure out where my son is.
I have a map,
We have
and I
heard-
just pull off my chest plate and show it.
Nice.
We know that my son
have
is being administered by a tutor.
we should learn who that tutor is. Since we seem to be in the habit of making disguises, it is possible that we could impersonate them, one of us, if they look similar to any of us. We have the fortune of each having a fairly different physique, so maybe their appearance will fit close to one of us.
We should also keep eyes out for my brother. He knows all of us. He could be a problem.
I'm pretty sure that whatever plan we go with, I should be able to make a pretty convincing distraction. Gestures at whatever tech is around.
That is fair.
Good.
But that... we get more access to places as we win games. That is our safest bet for now. But
Just to be
things
clear,
will get harder as we advance through the tournament.
how important is it to win? I mean, in order to get in my room, I kind of had to cheat a bit, and, are we all okay with that?
Subtle and lie.
If you are not caught, it does not count.
Alright.
In here, in a
Do
place
you
like
want to
this...
tell them, or do you want me to tell them?
Tell them
Did you already
what?
tell them?
Tell them what? I legit...
No, that Aeon pissed off the mob. That's what you told me! That's what you told me!
Yeah. We were just like...
We need open communication! This is why things happen!
Look, I'm sorry, I needed a room!
You played
He just
against
said
one of their
something
members?
I don't think he can figure it out. He's not on the island anymore.
Stay out of their way. Right now, you're just a faceless person who beat them. If they notice you more, let us know.
Aeon nods fervently.
Open communication.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Alright. I'll tell you whatever I can think about. Whatever I remember.
And at this point, you're leaving whatever the passageway you're in or whatever, and you go to the field in which the first round of the tournament is happening. On this field are a number of hexagonal playstations that you're supposed to pair up with your contestant on. They're like big metal topped, like, yeah, hexagons in the grass at this point, with chairs and a built-in Pai-Sho table. And on the one in the center is Kanto, a few guards, and a few. I guess they're black and white robed officials that you would recognize as official tournament judges for Pai-Sho. And then all of the contestants are pairing off on these play. I don't know how to describe them, stages, but there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Pai-Sho battle pits.
Yeah.
Pai-Sho
Exactly.
battle pits, except it's the opposite, because when we all stand on them and the tournament starts, they all begin to shake and rise up into the air.
The clinking of gears below each of them.
Yeah, for a spectacular first round, elevated above the grounds of the castle. You could see over the wall when they're fully extended, and they don't seem to have all gone to the same height. It does appear the more interesting the match, the higher your pillar will go. So
perfect. Quiwa is going to take like a slow and deliberate, like single panning, rotating head look around at everyone watching the tournament who isn't participating, looking for anyone who might be around a 10-year-old boy, observing.
Yeah. You do see, I think we rolled, there's about 3 children about that age.
I think it was 7.
7 total, but not all of them might be that age.
Yeah,
You're forgetting the 3 in the
number
trench
half.
coat and one other one.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, three who could look like who look around that
There's
age.
about
Okay.
3 that more or less match the description. The end of your turning pan, though, you make direct eye contact with your opponent if you wanted to tell us who they are.
Oh. Okay. Can I take 3 kids in a trench coat quite literally?
Yeah, you can get the 3 kids in a trench coat.
Perfect. So I think we see.
You're like, where are the other kids?
Yeah, we see like it's not a trench coat, but it's like a large robe and a similar hat, but like more plain like reed hat, and we hear like it's someone in a kid low voice like hello, like a kid doing a low voice like it is nice to meet you. I look forward to defeating you. And we would just like tilts her head slightly and gives a raised eyebrow and takes a moment to collect herself.
Yeah.
And
then we get to see who everyone else is up against. So everyone can tell me a name and a quick look of who we're up against. These are characters who are not important to the story. They are simply your first round matchup.
I just need a name. I've got a description.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Sato is up against a male waterbender in very, very dark blue robes, and they've got a very goth technique going. They've got like the black makeup under the eyes, make them look dark, and in anime parlance, they have the U-shaped eyes with the flat top. You know,
Gotcha. Yes, I do understand. I'm too tired for this eyeballs.
Yeah, and they're just very, very deadpan and just staring forward, waiting for the game to start.
The deep ocean or something.
Yeah, they refer to themselves as the frigid depths, I think.
The frigid depths.
Ooh,
yes.
yeah.
Great.
I might start adding like a pool of ideas for different NPCs you could face into Discord, just like writing them down.
I think I'm going to push my lack of luck further. My guy is another mob guy from the same. They've got the same coat. It's not the one that we saw them talking to. It is another one. He's kind of a bit bigger, but not enforcer levels of this is terrifying. And if he needs a name, it's Kingdom, because that's on the list.
Bao is facing a Fire Nation, like a similar silly guy from the Fire Nation as he is. And this guy has like a lightning motif, and he goes by the Thundercrack.
You got one of the other wrestlers?
Yeah, I got one of the other wrestlers.
The organizers were like,
Alright.
it's too much. Let's just have one of them defeat the other, then there's less.
Let's
get this gimmick.
rotate them
Only
out.
one can have the gimmick in the final, so we need to make sure that they knock each other out.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, the pillars are shifting and waving as the match begins, and then we're gonna kind of wing the pseudo combat that we're gonna do with everyone engaged with one opponent. Not engaged because we're gonna say you start unengaged by the rules of Pai-Sho. So it's the way it's gonna work is you have to engage the opponent and then defeat the opponent.
How do we engage the opponent with the stuff we have on the
We'll see how it
combat list?
works.
Attack in advance. Like that is
Choose one of
and
our
then
approaches.
Yeah, like like the combat, everyone chooses one approach at a time. Your opponents will have one approach. The idea is that you kind of like check and checkmate in chess to win the Pai-Sho match. You got to achieve an advance to get them in a position where you can win, and then in the next round, if they don't stop you, they lose.
So it's kind of like a tug of war.
Yeah, kind of like a tug of war. We'll do, I don't know, 3 rounds to represent the whole game of selecting one card. You can flavor a move you have in regular combat for Pai-Sho. So it's like jet stepping, for example, is still a functional Pai-Sho move. If you flipped the thing across
like
the board or
checkers,
something.
like I put my tile, it jumps over your tile and takes it or something ridiculous.
Because we're playing very loosey. We're doing the anime game.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh rules, which doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime card rules, where there isn't a clear set.
Yeah. I attack the moon and things like that.
Yeah, because I feel like if we spend all this time trying to nail down Pai-Sho rules, we'll get trapped in the minutia more than the playing of the game. Yeah, so everyone's gonna get one card face down. Their opponent's gonna have one card face down. We do the first round. We'll see where we land after that.
Are we seeing?
Okay.
Are we doing everyone at once, or are we going?
Yeah, everyone at once.
Okay.
We should probably. This is something I should have done ahead of time. How do I?
No, I will move these out of the way.
Yeah. It seems that. Do you have to pick first, or?
I can make it so they come out face down. Hang on one second.
Yeah, we can. We can place ours face down if they go, or is that not already the case?
It's set right now not to. Now it should be fixed.
Okay. And then...
Oh, but then if we try to choose, we don't know what card we're picking.
Oh, God. Wrong option. 1 second. Show fronts. Where is the... Oh, there it is. I had to scroll down. There we go. Now they'll play face down and they should show face up in the...
So I have another really weird question. I'm going to half assume we can't advance any of our techniques this way.
What?
It's still technically using the technique. You're just reflavoring it.
Yeah. You're still going to roll. And if you want to have a more direct fight in periods that aren't sanctioned Pai-Sho matches, you can still have a regular fight on the island.
Yeah.
You can just go beat people up. If
we lose the Pai-Sho match, we could go beat up our opponent, and they just don't show up tomorrow.
Yeah, as long as
you don't want to do that on the field. You're going to want to do that later. Yeah. You're going to want to track them down and jump them or something. But
excellent.
Yeah. So first we got Quiwa, and then we're going to do an order of who said who they got. So Quiwa, Sato, I think it was Bao Aeon.
I think it was Aeon Bao, but I really don't think it matters.
Yeah.
So Aeon's last, Quiba's first.
Perfect.
Right out there, Quiba?
Sorry? I'm just putting my
Don't
card
say-
out now. I was just double checking some stuff. But
I see.
I think for my first round, I will stick with evading and observing. What are these children doing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just laying out all of the opponents.
Oh, sorry. When you
start.
called me out, I thought that meant it was my turn to flip the card.
Oh no, that's totally fine. I'm just trying to lay out all of the opponents so we have them all fairly set up. So
Okay. One thing to note is all of the cards, if you hover your mouse over them, it says what they do even when flipped down.
Yep.
So
Because they were designed to not be flipped down.
Yep. Which is fine.
So don't hover.
Indigo, don't hover.
I'm not gonna hover.
Yep.
It's fine.
I mean, it's not.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, I have all of the opponents set up for their moves.
Perfect. Then I will flip my evade and observe.
Cool. Are we all on the same page? Where are we?
Are you on the new one or the old one?
I'm on the map page.
Oh,
I didn't do
not.
anything.
we are on the.
We are on the page that has our.
It's called Simple Map. It's got the player flag on it.
Are you copy pasting it?
Yeah, I just am not used to having to switch the mats.
Yeah,
Mm.
the default GM page is not the one that the players are always on. They are saved separately.
Yeah, that's the part I forgot. Okay, let me I gotta put my cards in again.
Aha.
I did a stupid diagram, but this makes more sense than my stupid diagram because we already have spaces for all of you.
Yep.
I'll move the last card, which I presume is me, to over by me.
Yes, that's you. There.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Now they're set up. This makes way more sense. All right. So we'll start with Quiwa. Yeah, the children are advancing.
I'm not surprised.
They do not have it's clumsy and not very refined. You know from your study of openings, and they are just flinging themselves at you in Pai-Sho terms.
Perfect. Okay.
So,
Do we deal with techniques, or is it more of a?
yeah, so we're both gonna roll.
Are they rolling?
Pretty much. Don't they normally roll in combat? Don't you?
NPCs choose one plus their principal.
So, that makes more. All right. So yeah, you're gonna roll.
If these guys, I assume these guys would have principal 1 or 0 if they're
they're gonna
nameless.
do like one thing. They're gonna do one thing. The part of the consequences of your roll is that they advance.
Yes. I think they just advance anyways, basically. Unless I beat them back next turn, I'll lose.
They advance, and then you try to evade and observe. And if you fail to evade and observe, then you're in the corner for the next one.
Yep. Okay. Should I roll now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't need
Do
that.
this as the
I
first
don't
round.
have. Well, I do know what it is. It is going to be creativity.
There's a combat tab you can roll off of. It has the
sweet. Okay.
combat exchange stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a full hit.
My goodness, it's my first full hit in combat.
And it's Pai-Sho.
And it's Pai-Sho. Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Studying is paying off.
Yes, it is. Here we go. Stance, moves, and techniques. So on a 10 plus, choose one from this list instead. I can mark one fatigue to use a learned technique and make it practice. I have the break technique, which is break a vulnerable piece of equipment. That vulnerable piece of equipment to me seems to be the trench coat / robe covering up that it's 3 people instead of 1.
That does seem to be playing the player and not the game, but that is acceptable.
Yeah, I think I would like to. So I'm outmaneuvering them, but I think Oh, what do I do?
You both keep them from pushing you into a corner in Pai-Sho, and like knock the button holding it together, and the children spill out, right?
Can I? This is a huge risk. Can I try to like under the table subtly airbend their like robe open or something like that? Like just we're high up in the air. It's totally just a gust of wind.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, you blow the robe open as you like react to their move.
Perfect. Yeah, Quiwa's not practiced with airbending, but she can do gusts of wind. Basically, is all she's got, and apparently screams and yells.
You kick a gust of wind blowing the trench coat off of them, and now there's 3 children around the Pai-Sho board.
Perfect. I want to call one of I want to say, hey, are cheating. Being caught cheating seems to be a bad thing, specifically.
Yeah. They're a little bit flustered, and don't really pull off their attack as a result of that. But it is ruled that it's fair play. They're on the mat. There are 3 of them now.
It's too late, basically.
It's too late.
Now that they're in the arena with me.
As a collective, and they start pushing more, 3 times as many moves.
Oh, lovely.
That's like a fake anime rule.
Yeah.
It's a fake anime rule. Now they're moving 3 tiles.
Literally played Pot of Greed.
Yep.
Yeah. All right,
Perfect.
next one. We're on to Sato.
All right. I am also evading and observe.
Oh, they're entering. They're defending. They are entering a defensive formation. The Frigid Depths has set up the Frigid Depths has set up like a defensive formation of tiles.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just sort of playing very conservatively, holding back, seeing what they're going to do so I can strike on them. I'm rolling with Harmony. And that's a 13, so this is going to be fun. I'm obviously employing patience, which is my combat technique. So I can mark 1 fatigue and use an advance and attack technique and also become prepared.
Awesome. So you can make this go real fast.
Yeah. So my advance and attack, I think I'm basically going to Zerg one side of the board, right? And destabilize their formation using Fireblade.
Cool. So yeah, there's like there are fiery pieces of like one of the flower types in Pai-Sho.
Mario
like
Fire
a
Flower.
swath of red pieces that you have laid out across, like arcing around the boards.
They are technically impaired if that helps.
Yeah.
And
their defense is crumbled.
And for my second thing that I can do, it'll just be a basic strike, just moving in and trying to damage their formation.
Well, by the rules I set, you cornered and then struck, so you have won the game. In one swift move, you have handily dealt with the Frigid Depths.
You did the classic chess win in 3 moves.
Yep.
Was not ready for what was your fake name? Natsu?
Naruse,
the Grand Master of like the Forest Fire or something.
It seems the hot flames of passion will always overwhelm the frigid depths.
Good, just make fun of him as you beat him.
His mascara just starts to run.
Yeah. All right, Bow. The
The
Living Thunder.
it was Thundercrack.
Yeah, Thundercrack immediately jumps off the top rope with his attacks, if you will, and just it's a lot of strikes from different parts of the board.
I am I'm defending, and I'm gonna make an argument for my Earth armor.
Totally. No, you not even an argument. You get it. There's a little man shape of of tiles that get assembled as you go.
Okay, so let me roll focus. Aha, full hit. So, I'll send details to chat. There we go. So I imagine this in Pai-Sho terms is I'm setting up a really good defense on the board, and my hold is I set up like 3 sacrificial tiles that when he comes in, they're like, why do you don't need to take them? That's dumb, right? They're just
Yeah.
like bait tiles. So I have 3 hold
Mm-hmm.
to block conditioned or fatigue inflicted upon me, and I'm favored while I have hold.
Yeah.
What is
Well, one of those. I mean, because it's defend, attack, observe. I think you do lose one of the hold
okay?
from his rapid strike approach because it's attacking various points of the board, so it does eat up some of your like planned defense there
Right.
as a result of his action.
It's A-okay with me.
Cool.
It's part of the plan.
Yeah, but you don't get pushed into a corner, so you
Yeah.
can't be taken out next time. So I feel like it's a fair play there. All right, Aeon, it's your.
We all have the same
Ooh,
evade and
circling
attack.
each other on the board.
In this case, I'm definitely playing the player more than the board. I was not wanting to go up against a mob member. I was just told to stay away from them. I am kind of doing a lot of talking, doing a lot of apologizing, doing a lot of trying to distract them from actually playing by, learning more about their friend and other things like that.
I like from Aeon's point of view, it's like I'm gonna make friends with them because talking about their friend. From his point of view, you're just talking smack on the guy you just beat.
I'm commiserating. Come on. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh no, I know.
Okay, speed is harmony or creativity. Definitely holding with harmony. As I try and remember where to. There we go.
Ooh,
And
so you get a basic move if you spend
no,
something.
normally you miss as you fail totally.
You can spend or shift your balance, I think, and get a basic. Something.
I think
like
it's spend a fatigue. Let me see.
stance moves.
On a miss, you stumble, but you can shift your balance away from center.
Oh, it
to
is okay. It is
base
balanced.
attack.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Actually, I'm shifting my balance to the very edge. Apparently, I wasn't cautious enough, and I'll use the basic technique of test balance. I basically want to figure out where they're at, so that I'm going to get out of this okay.
So you're gonna do test balance.
Yeah.
Mark 1 fatigue to challenge an engaged foe's balance. Ask what their principle is. They must ask honestly.
So sure, I ask what the mobster's prince. I think what I'm trying to figure out more accurately here, or how to translate this, is almost what their attack style is going to be.
Their attack style is like the pretty classic. It's taxes. They're gonna keep making you make bad decisions until you don't have any good decisions left.
Boxing you in.
Yeah. For instance, right now they're gonna inflict the trapped condition as the first level of condition as they hinder your play.
impaired.
They're impaired. They're putting some grief tiles down that do nothing more than stop your approach. So you are impaired.
All right, if I figure out how to mark that, I will do so.
It's just the checkbox next to it at the top right.
Beautiful, thank you.
Mhm.
Well, that didn't go so well for one of us.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I know what Bao is gonna do for his main Protector's Burden move. Quiwa is fine here. I think I need to protect Aeon while we're here. And it's more, I gotta keep an eye on him because he's gonna get himself killed or get all of us killed.
Okay. Aeon is currently your ward now.
Yeah. I'm still gonna keep the hold, right? Because it just says choose by the end of the session. So I'll put Aeon's name in here for when I change
I think you
it.
keep the
But
hold, yeah.
yeah, but I still have one hold on you until the end of the session. But I have to shift 2 toward trust. Because I trust Quiwa here a lot more than I trust Aeon here.
There's no desperate straits. Oh wait. Oh, sorry.
And
So
then
do thingamajiggers, do statuses have any practical effect on anything, or is it just a matter of
I mean,
playing
always
advantage,
statuses
or...
are always kind of narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even in regular combat, the statuses don't have a practical effect. It's kind of just you are trapped, so pretty much, or you are impaired. So do something about it before you can win. Like you can't when negative. Yeah, mark 1 fatigue or take. Yeah, so if you try to do an attack action, it'll still cost you fatigue.
Okay.
Like even if the attack isn't like strictly punching, it's still like it's still attacking.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Okay, perfect. Next round for everyone?
Yeah, sorry, I got one more to pick.
Okay.
And then I'm good.
So what, did you pick one? Sorry, I just keep seeing an empty one on your thing.
I'm waiting until he's picked this time.
Yes. They're all out.
Okay.
And Sato has won.
Yep.
So you have
oh yeah, Sato doesn't need
So since Sato has won, is there any way I could like take a look around, get a lay of the land while I'm basking in the wind?
You can totally make a move when everyone else is still doing their
okay.
actions.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assess and think about it. You guys do your thing.
Is this just purely observation, or are you looking at something specific? You whip
out
your telescope?
I was just getting the roll up. Go ahead and do the combat round, and I'll.
Yeah, you're gonna hold on to your questions.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So I think we'll start again with Quiwa, right?
Yep. I just picked mine again. Also, I forgot last time I evaded and observed, I got a fatigue removed because that's how that works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am once again evading and observing, but this time actually in play, not just for them. So I'll roll for that. That is an 8. So, I pick
Mastered or basic.
Yep. Let me check. Do I have it here? Seek vulnerabilities. That's shifting balance, which doesn't feel like it matters too much here. So I'm instead going to use a basic. I'm going to bolster myself, basically. I think that you said they're playing a bunch of tiles. I think my intention is to keep evading them until they run out of tiles before me because they're playing 3 per turn. So I'm setting them up to like automatically lose by milling themselves, basically.
Yes.
If they've played all the tiles they have and still haven't won, they automatically lose. So I'm just trying. Basically, yeah, I'm setting that up.
Yeah, they are using the move, somewhat playing into your hands here. They are using the move take cover. So they basically get a freebie on attack by they have set up a little wall of tiles that are slowly moving forward.
Oh yeah, they're just going full marching army.
Yeah, they're using the take cover defensive action. So yeah, they're marching a bunch of tiles up the board towards you.
Perfect.
You get your.
I think the status that makes sense for me. Hold on, I'm gonna click them so I can tell. That doesn't matter too much. I think it might be favored potentially.
Let me favored's good.
Check inspired. I don't know. Yeah, favored. Oh, prepared. I like the name of prepared. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either
prepared, I think-
favored, inspired, prepared.
I'll
one
go
of
with
those
prepared.
words.
I think that makes the most sense. I'm intentionally leading them into this.
Yeah.
I like how ostensibly this is Pai-Sho, but the way we're describing it is like Warhammer.
Yeah,
Like we're playing
yeah.
like a miniatures game.
Yep. Roll your wound. Roll to see how many wounds you get to save against.
I
All
save
right.
on 6s.
Flip your Pai-Sho tile, 50-50 chance, depending on if it lands blank side up or not. I think
There
they're
we
all
go.
actually double-sided. With
Mhm.
I mean, if we're actually flipping tiles.
yeah, though if this is
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh
the-
anime rules, there are certain tiles that act differently and are
Thunder-
different on each side
The
because
thunder
it's
doesn't stop.
nonsense.
The thunder doesn't stop for anything. The attack is still going.
That's fine because I'm punching them back. Oh yeah! I got my solid base of crystals.
Yeah, it's absorbing much of the damage from his attack pattern.
All right, yeah. So advance and attack. Hey. Yeah, that's a full hit, and because I am favored, I could do another basic or master technique.
Ooh. So yeah, you have engaged, you have cornered him, so you have him basically in Pai-Sho check. So if you get another like attack in on him,
Well,
you got him.
So I can do like my Earth Gauntlet. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah,
'cause that's
sure,
mastered.
that's
And
an
then-
attack.
and then like I strike him.
Yeah. You get him pinned into a corner with your earth, like a surge of pieces with like an earth gauntlet. It's
Yeah.
silly, and it works. I'm pretty sure there's a rock tile.
There definitely are.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go in for the kill, and you take out Thundercrack, who looks shocked and odd as the final piece goes down, and he does plummet from the tower, dramatically,
Mhm.
as he is contractually obligated to do,
Yeah.
as he is taken down.
Mhm.
Yeah, like flexing up top there, and then I take one of his Pai-Sho tiles because that's how the crystal champion plays. We play for pieces up here.
Excellent.
No, I'm gonna take your piece and marry it to mine.
Yeah. So that's that one.
Remember, the cream always rises to the top.
All right, Aeon, you ready for her?
Sure thing. Yeah, Aeon's realized, oh, so they're going to pin me in, that is not going to work well, and he's going to flounder desperately and try and attack in order to get out of it, because this is going so well.
Yeah.
And yes, I will take a fatigue, because I am not good with that. And... well, at least it's a
Ooh.
hit.
Yeah. Trying to figure out which move they're doing. Yeah, so they're standing strong. So you haven't backed them in a corner yet, but you are making them respond to like what you're doing. Now you've come back from being hindered there, and you're once again like playing on an even footing
Okay.
with this mob member.
So essentially, I used ready and got rid of the hindered.
Yes,
Like,
that's
we're back
exactly what
in
happened.
place.
We've got back to level.
All right.
Yeah. We will summarize the rest of it. So we have probably do another round and see how
Yep. Last round.
we're at with that.
Us left, so.
Yeah. And then they count the points or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, That's useful. My approach deck only has one option now.
You gotta close it and
Oh, so does mine. Oh, is it because you deleted them, Indigo, or?
did I?
I know what I'm
We
picking.
could just, you know, state an option.
We could just
and
state it because Indigo's already picked his first. Yeah.
There's
It's
cards.
for this
Why?
one it's simpler.
There's cards.
That shouldn't happen. There should be infinite cards in that deck. Hang on.
I thought there was also infinite.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
there's
when
a
I
recall
open it, I
button.
also only see evade
Yeah,
and
same
observe.
here.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, cards in deck are infinite. Why did they go away?
That's very strange.
Well, I know what I'm picking. So
Same here.
we can just declare if we want.
Okay. This is a weird problem. Yeah.
Are we good to
I think
deal with it
we're
later?
good.
This is the last round, anyways. So
Yeah, it's the last round. They're both attacking in response, seeing that like this round is coming to an end. Like both of you kind of have them on, not so much strictly the back foot for Aeon, but like this round is reaching its conclusion for both participants.
I chose to attack as well.
I
Yeah,
did
so
as
they're-
well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going for broke on these attacks.
Yep.
Yep.
I will roll with passion, probably with that +1 I got from before.
Ooh.
So that is a 12. And I think I'm going to then strike them effectively, like narratively. I strike at them, and I think I'm going to pressure them. Doesn't matter, so I'll smash something in their narrative environment. I think I'm gonna smash their I'll go for smashing their like approach to me, their army. I smash the front lines.
Yeah, you smash the front lines, and then your strike makes it all the way through, and they
Yep.
you have defeated the 3 children you were playing in Pai-Sho.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll roll with passion, and I can't successfully get this for the world. But okay. So I strike again, and I guess we're both striking. What does this look like?
You're both doing a move. You're gonna take a condition as a result of their strike. I think is the.
I think
I'll
it's
take a
like
condition as a result of their strike, but through the result of my strike, I can actually get the match. It just cost me something.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're still like it is a tough match for you. You do get a hit. It's just not a full hit. So there is some narrative. There is some mechanical fallout, which is the condition.
Yeah, I'll take. I think troubled. Oh no, the things I was told not to do backfired. Maybe I should listen to some advice. And thus the Pai-Sho tournament ends. The first round.
Yes, the first round draws to its conclusion. All of our contestants have won their match. There was only one fatality this round. Thundercrack, unfortunately, did not make it. You see him getting like carried off.
Trying to kill him.
Well, let me rephrase. Maybe not fatality, casualty.
He gets carried out on a stretcher.
Yeah, the Thundercrack gets carried off screen in a stretcher.
He gets carried off, and we hear the SpongeBob.
Yeah, something like that. But Sato did spend most of the match observing the crowd and the players as it went on. Do you still hold on to those questions?
No. Well, maybe. Let's see. I have a feeling I'd know who or what is the biggest threat. I'm sure Hanto is still here.
Yeah, Hanto's here, surrounded by the guards. You are already aware of Lieutenant Kai, but you are approached. You are reaffirmed with the threat that Lieutenant Kai poses, as you do see some eerily good Pai-Sho moves coming out of Kai.
Was he like the first to win?
He wasn't the
Or-
first.
Taller pillars.
I think Sato was the first to like win with just the sound defeat of Frigid Depth there, but it he is like in the top 3 to win. Like
His
the
pillar
first
is
3 to
definitely
finish their
higher,
match.
but Sato's will be higher next time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically looking around, can I spend my next question on getting a layout of the surrounding area to have a +1 to navigating through crap if we need it?
Yes, yes, most definitely. You can use an assess one to get like what's the best way around here. You can get a +1 and the next time you need to find something outside of the castle.
Okay.
It's a totally acceptable assess the situation. Grasp your surroundings. But yeah, now we're going to everyone's with the losers doing their walk of shame back to the castle. The winners have a little bit of free reign of the grounds for the remainder of this first tournament day. So we're gonna see what everyone's up to after the game, and then we're gonna do growth questions and wrap the day up.
I think I'm going to go find Bao, tug on your sleeve for a moment, and basically say, "So I was up against the mob again. You said clear communication. It's not like I could pick my opponent."
It's not your fault. I get it. It's not your fault. But how badly did you beat him, and what did you say? I need you to be very.
It was actually very close.
I didn't beat him that badly. I mean, it
Was
really...
it embarrassing?
I really don't think it was embarrassing. I mean, I was trying to apologize for a bit of it and making sure that his friend was okay, but he almost beat me. It was pretty close.
You said, "Sorry, I beat your friend."
Something like that, yeah.
Do you see how that might be taken a certain way? From your mouth, it sounds like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. From his ears, it could sound like, "Sorry, I beat your crappy friend at Pai-Sho. You're next." It could be seen as smack talk.
I really need to stay out of the mob's way.
Aeon, I have a bit of advice going forward for your cover persona. Perhaps you are one that does not talk much. You are very stern and stoic. Communicate only with your expression. It will
Communicate with
intimidate
Pai-Sho.
them.
Okay, I can try that.
All right, I'm going to guide and comfort on that.
While you are dealing with this, Quiwa is going to find to get a closer look at the 10-ish year olds that she previously spotted. I'm going to see if she can get a closer look at any of them.
I'm also going to ask if that tree clears troubled, seek guidance from a mentor figure.
Well,
for both of us.
My guide and comfort can clear a condition if you embrace the guidance, which you just did.
I absolutely am embracing that guidance. However, I'm going to clear the 2 fatigue I have instead, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm also shifting your balance off the track.
Because you win.
I'm not even your ward. It doesn't do anything for you.
True. You will get XP at end of session, though, because then you will be at center.
Yep. This is true.
Yep. That's how it works.
I was pushed off so quickly.
Yep.
Like, no,
So
more restraint. More
Feelings
restraint.
are high in the tournament arc. Like,
Yeah, stakes are high. We got prizes to win.
Everyone's on a razor's edge.
Apparently, I'm not talking now. I approve.
You're a stoic
Oh yeah, you
person
could just like
now.
don't say anything for a while. Could be your extreme thing. Indigo, you should make it so Aeon should say something, and he sees something he should say, and then just never tell us.
No, you need to have something that you're not saying now. We'll
Clear
find something
communication,
more...
but also don't talk.
We'll find you something
We mean don't talk to your opponents.
In places where we're not doing the pretending. So if we're in actual private, I can talk. So I just never get to be in private for a while.
Oh, so you also advance with?
Yes.
Just like you listen to me, push.
Yep, it's wonderful.
So I am your protege then.
So I can do it all at the same time. When a PC embraces your guidance and comfort, you may shift your experience toward experience to declare them a protege. When that PC shifts their center towards the principal, which I just made you do.
I technically could use this to make you my new load store, but I'm quite happy with Bao at the moment. We'll swap that around later.
Cool.
And I did clear trouble by going to talk to Bao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Quiwa's looking for children.
Who was looking for children and looking if she can notice anything about which child is the one we want.
Yeah. I mean, pretty obviously one of them is hurried away by guards and the other ones aren't.
Yeah.
So you could go on like a stealth mission, I guess, to try to find.
I would love to go on a stealth mission to try to find
What is the
them.
most appropriate move for this? I mean, background of sneaking through palace halls is
actually
acceptable.
Yes, you're right. That is absolutely one of my specific backstory things. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think Quiwa is... Oh. Yeah, if this... For most people, this would be pushing her luck. But yeah, she has history sneaking into and out of places she shouldn't be when it comes to rich palaces.
Skills and training.
Skills and training it is.
And you're just trying to follow the back from the tournament.
I think I'd actually think it feels more like pushing my luck to me. The reason for that is because usually she had a friend to earthbend tunnel her way in and out.
All right. You're going at it alone this time.
I'm going at it alone.
You know what? No, I'm going to use my hold for Protector's Burden to come with you.
Perfect. I am... So
because I need to use it.
Am I just sneaking around and you're just like, hey, what are you up to? Just like before?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Like, yeah, I also jump and might have thrown a wrench at you if I had one. Okay, Quiwa's like, no, stay there. If they catch us together, it gets worse. If I get caught alone, it's fine. I'll just get shipped off the island. It's fine. We have to know where he is.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Not with stealth. Look, I can do this. Quiwa is, I think, I assume it's going to be needed, but more than that. But Quiwa's going to try and get you to act on your trust. So, I've one of my bold goals is to get a companion to act on a principle that they have neglected. And that really feels like it has been the case. Other than like this session, trust has been neglected.
You got so lucky. My trust is now +1.
I know. It's great. I have the best possible timing. So I think so Quiwa looks at you and she says, even with me sneaking off, I can handle things. I've talked to these guards. I know what makes them tick. I can get myself out of that if needed. Aeon needs your help. But I've got this. And 2 people will make it tougher. You know that.
So you're calling me to live up to my principle?
Calling you to trust me. Yeah.
So you get a +1.
Okay.
On top of the +1.
Okay, so I'm rolling with +2.
Yeah. Here, I'll send this. Yeah. Oh no, wait. What?
No.
Oh no, you're calling me.
Calling someone out. No, not.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am calling someone out.
So you don't shift your balance away from center.
Or yeah. Well, I'm not your ward anymore, am I? Didn't you just make Aeon your ward?
Yeah, but the move itself, call someone else, is shift your balance away from center and then ask them to.
Yeah, but I think I think it just says like decide by the end of the session.
Okay, so it'll happen at the end of the session, really. Okay.
Yeah.
So this might be part of it. Is I'm just saying like switch it to Aeon as part of this narratively. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't shift your balance because they're technically still my ward, but I'm deciding not by the end of the session.
Okay. Perfect.
So you could pretty easily just by accepting the calling out and not
Looks like I have to roll first either way. But
Yeah, I think you roll first either way.
Okay.
Yeah, just roll.
I'll roll +2 then.
Yeah.
That is a 9.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think. I don't think it makes sense to No, I'm gonna hold off. I have my assess of how to get through the guards. I'm gonna use that for actually getting through the guards instead of telling you how I would get through the guards. Actually, wait, it's ongoing, but I don't think it would necessarily apply.
Yeah, I think I'm shifting you toward confidence because Bao's gonna be like, "You're right.
You got this.
I believe in you. You can do it." And he's gonna take off one of his like 20 rings he has on his fingers that's like crystal and just give it to you and be like, "Keep this with you. That way, just in case, I could bend you some armor if you need it." But
okay, yeah, she nods and puts on the ring. It doesn't quite fit her, so she pockets it instead until she needs it.
well, you go to put it on.
Oh yeah,
and
you shrink it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good luck.
I should be back soon.
Cool. Yeah, give me this push your luck roll as you dash off through the halls.
Yeah, so pushing my luck, I'm going to use the +1 ongoing I have from the assess to distract the guards. So that's a +3 total. So there isn't an option I have right now to... It doesn't ask me, I don't believe, for a modifier, so we'll have to just head math it. Mental add it. That's up to a 6. Ooh,
and you're alone.
1. And I am alone. And I don't have any more +1s. This is excellent.
Fails.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, you get caught by some guards as you are sneaking through the halls, and you are escorted to a player holding area.
Sorry.
That's just a test. Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah, if you will.
Excellent.
We'll come back to you next session.
Perfect.
Ooh, if this is like a TV show, can we see like Quiwa in the cell, and then from the wall is just that mask starts coming?
I think we get Quiwa getting thrown at a door.
Yeah,
and then
the set isn't ready yet for this week.
Yeah, and the guards are like walking down the hall, and we get like the mask starting to come out of the wall across from the door.
Yeah, like just outside of it.
Yeah, and then before because Bao jumped in on your thing for an emotional moment, we're gonna check in real fast with what Sato's doing, and then we're gonna do the wrap up.
Okay. Yeah, I think Sato's not going where he's not supposed to go, but plotting out all of the different places that he's being blocked from, right? Like he's going around and being like, okay, well, this is off limits, this is off limits, and he's trying to figure out where the guards are actually coming from. Like if they all funnel to a central location as they go off duty and on duty, that kind of thing.
Yeah. For one, just right off the bat, you do realize that you can now access the sauna and the library portion of the castle that were previously unavailable to you after winning your first day's tournament.
Excellent.
But yeah, you do. It's like a Swedish style sauna where you're sitting in the room with the hot rocks. But yeah, no, you do spend a little bit. We do get a couple shots of Sato like sitting outside of like one place a couple times to see like guards coming and going. We do see that there are some like nondescript guard rooms that you see them disappearing into. So for the areas you have access to, you have a pretty good idea of like, oh, these are where their like duty stations are.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we're gonna move into the like session wrap up there.
Yep. Perfect.
So yeah, it's not the most amazing Pai-Sho system, but how do we hot takes?
Honestly, it worked for me.
Brainstorm
Yeah,
some other Pai-Sho game system.
It works using the metaphor of fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It fits the
Definitely more
genre we
narrative.
have shifted to.
I wanted to be able to use as many of the mechanics as like the game
Yeah.
already has in place.
You don't
And
want to
by-
make a Pai-Sho game.
Yeah, I didn't want to make a new mini game.
It's a little bit hard to figure out, okay, what can I strategize to do next? But it is a very narrative flow of play, and you're supposed to pick things narratively, so sure.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a stretch, but it's the best I could figure out for an easy like this is Pai-Sho.
Works great.
And then we're gonna. There's a clock here. How do we advance this?
It's the same, the multi-sided token thing. Just right click, hit choose side, and you can use the little slider to fill it.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna rename this clock. I'm gonna rename it, but we're gonna treat this one in the middle as progress on your mission. So we did two distinct things to advance the mission of reclaiming the child. We did a bunch of research on the guard flow, and we got someone that would help as like a bystander to help with this whole recover the child mission. Can we think of there's two chunks? Or can we think of another distinct action that we took to advance the reclaiming of the child? There was a third in the works, but
yeah,
it failed.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I have a chance to recover. I've been caught,
Yeah.
but that means I can escape. But, no, not for now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we're mostly trying to set stuff up.
Well,
Cool.
yes. Will it be possible to fix the child before the clock is full, or no?
Oh,
The clock will be, I think, more of a representation of.
the clock is your progress on the mission. You just got to get done with the mission before the end of the 5th session when the tournament's over.
So it's 2 out of 12 right now,
Yeah.
because it's not on stream. But yeah.
That looks like a cool clock.
Yeah. Growth questions. So let's do the generic ones first. Oh, the character sheet only mentions the unique one. Okay, hold on.
That's funny.
Growth questions. Here we go.
Yes.
Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? About the world of the Pai-Sho match, we learned the entire setting of it.
We
and
learned that there's some cutthroat Pai-Sho culture.
I would say exciting. I would say this whole thing counts as exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
Doesn't feel like it.
No.
No.
No. Did you guys
I introduced dangerous threats, but that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yep. They
Well,
haven't been
you
resolved
can
yet.
take some growth there, GM.
Yeah. The wolf baby got stronger.
No, not the wolf
Well,
baby.
point.
He now has fangs and he bites. This has been established.
Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I think that's the first time I've ever actually managed that.
You're welcome.
Oh, I pushed you towards.
You pushed me towards.
You
You pushed me out of center. I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going further and further
Yeah.
towards extreme confidence. I don't know what this will look like if I tip over the edge, but
That's going to be awful.
yeah, I'm
You're
like,
just gonna
I'll
go
take
with
you
an
all on.
army.
No, I'm not quite that bad, but I might actually. an extreme confidence might be I try to like go straight for the kid myself and just do something like dumb.
Yeah, I figure by session 5, no one's gonna be playing Pai-Sho. We're just gonna keep the tournament
while the
going
Pai-Sho
as long
tournament's
as
running in the
possible.
background. Dama's just there, just like, and Dama takes another one, like that kind of thing. As there's, I imagine they'll introduce a commentator eventually, as there are fewer and fewer combatants and the preliminaries are eliminated.
Viewing platforms or something for the losers.
We definitely did a Statler and Waldorf kind of duo that just constantly heckle the Pai-Sho players.
because I'm in the wrestling frame of mind, I'm imagining like the wrestling commentators, like, my God, he threw him through
Yeah, he's like standing right there in front of the two players, just like in their face commentating, like the most ridiculous way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Individual questions.
Did you seek guidance or support from others? Yes.
Yes.
Did I express vulnerability by admitting I was wrong or that I should have listened to someone I ignored? I might actually do that depending on how next session goes for once. Yeah.
Did you pursue a desire or goal of your own outside of protecting others? I wanted to take some Pai-Sho tiles. I took that man's Pai-Sho tiles when he fell off of the thing. I'm playing for chips.
Fair.
When Bao takes a character, he gets into character.
You said it. You did say it at the top. You're looking for tiles.
Yeah, I was looking for tiles. You know, first guy I actually beat, I took his tiles.
Yeah.
I'm a collector.
And for Sato's growth, he's unlocking his moment of balance.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So I think that's it for episode 1 of book 3. Unavailable next week, but the week after should be good to go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes, and we'll see. I have a advancement to pick, which I will look towards, and we'll see who we've all managed to barely stay in the tournament so far. I might get eliminated if I don't manage to get to the next game. If I'm in prison for my next game, I get eliminated.
Yeah, you do need to show up to receive your next pairing.
Yep. So I'll be figuring that out.
I'll be hiding from the mob.
I'm looking for an escape move, but I'll figure that out. I'll need to make sure it fits Quiwa enough.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back next fortnight.
2 weeks.
Next fortnight.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.